Good morning, Javier. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I guess I will say I don't understand it because I didn't think it was a red card. And my son was here, and two of his buddies are big soccer fans, played, and they were like, it's clearly a red card. Like they were like, no, that's automatic. You can't spike a guy. Like, but he hit the ball first. And my kid who played nothing more than high level travel baseball in high school, he's like, how many times? And the kid was like, they're metal spikes. Jake's like, how many times I took metal spikes in my leg at second base? What are we talking about here?
Well, that Zoltan guy,
Yeah.
he said afterwards, I thought that it was a ridiculous red card.
Good. Glad someone did.
The more I watch of this tournament, the more I'm on the wrong side of the calls. In the second half of the match last night, I just went, I got to quit. Because I was getting upset. That's how bad I thought the calls were. And I got the Fox guy telling me he thought they got every call right.
Yep. Like, okay. Literally. Yeah. He said, I think the ref's done a great job. He's got every call right.
Call right.
That's exactly what he said. Yep.
I know. I'm like, oh my God. Maybe I need to go to bed.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floormeister Studios. Floormeisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Top of the morning to you on this Monday, the 1st of July. First Monday of July, that is. Hope you had a great weekend, and thanks for starting your week off with us. How the heck are you, Miller and Moulton? MillerandMoulton.com. Miller_Moulton on X. We have so much to talk about. And Mark, as I welcome you in, people throughout the state of Florida, into Connecticut, Alabama, Tennessee, and other places where they're following us online, they want to know how I don't know how many courses it was, but I know it was 14 original items that you prepared from scratch. How the July 4th lunch dinner extravaganza went.
It went well. For whatever reason, my pulled pork took a lot longer than it normally does, and I don't know why. I don't get it. I don't know if it was the thermometer and the meat. It was still good. It wasn't as good as it usually is, so that disappointed me. But the hot dogs were great. The hot dogs were everybody loved the homemade dogs, so that made me happy.
Cool.
That was a hit, and the food was good. Food was very good. I took, because I'm not allowed to drink, I took like a baby sip, like you and I talked about our grandfathers giving us way back when. I took a baby sip of my door fridge margarita simply so I could keep my consecutive streak of drinking on the 4th of July, which dates back to either 1984 or 85. I think 85, intact. So
I'll be damned if we're going to let this
right,
injury
whatever,
break
exactly.
this streak. Right.
Right.
Don't worry. Hey, don't worry. I'll put you in. Okay. And, I'll take you right out.
Right. This was basically an at bat, David, and I got intentionally walked. And by the time I got to first, the pinch runner was in. That's really the only way to describe it. It was awful. But I'm like, I got to take a sip. I'm sorry. I got to keep this string alive. And I don't know. It was actually, I got, one of my neighbors and I've become friends with, he's a really good guy. He brought a gift. A couple people brought like a, housewarming gift that people do to parties. I don't do a whole lot of that. My wife will do it. And, bought me a very nice, tough to get bottle of bourbon.
Oh.
And I was very excited about it. And I have two friends who we text, and it's mostly pictures of bourbon. And I've been, you guys are killing me here.
Right.
And so I sent that, and one of them said, "That's really nice, but it's kind of painful at the same time, isn't it?" I'm like, I really didn't think of it that way. I just thought of it was really nice up until now. And now you make a dadgum good point.
The caption will read, "This will be phenomenal in February or March."
Right. Exactly. But I will open it. If I'm allowed on my, my birthday of my transplant is February 6th, you can book it. There will be a bourbon out of that bottle going down.
It's not going to take much to be hooked on phonics.
In fact, no.
Might have to go back to the old grandfather rules of, we'll start with the juice glass. Okay.
That'll be one little one, and then we'll be off to the races. But no, thank you. Everything went well. We had a good time. A couple of the folks stayed late, which is normal for them, which is great. The kids were, out in the pool until like 9:30, 10 o'clock, which was tremendous. My neighborhood here behind the gates in the HOA, not a lot of fireworks. They get very nervous because people start calling and report and all that kind of crap.
Right.
So we didn't see a firework, and I didn't really care because I'm not that into them as others are. I know some of the drone shows were apparently incredible. I saw a couple videos of different drone shows across the country that were absolutely amazing. So hope everybody had a great 4th. I hope you did, David. I don't know if you went out to see any fireworks now that there are grandkids involved.
Well, we're in a lucky location for the 4th of July in that literally we live on the 3rd floor in our condo development, whatever. And we literally have a view of 6 different neighborhoods setting off their fireworks.
All right.
So around 8:30 or so, the old folks head out to the lanai, get comfortable, and we got a show for the next hour.
Good for you. Did you go ooh and ah at least once? Even if it was phony? That's usually what I go, ooh, ah.
No.
Oh.
No, I don't do the fake ooh ah anymore, but you know what? Maybe next year, come to think of it.
Something to look forward to.
You know what? When is it ever a bad time to fake an ooh or an ah? Now that
I know my wife's been doing it for years.
Exactly. So, all right, I can work that into the 4th of July holiday next year. And no, we actually we had a nice. We went out to the beach for a short time, and I've had it's been tough for me lately, so it was nice to get out and enjoy some good food. And so, yeah, the holiday was good. The sports continues to deliver. I mean, there's everything that we want in our sports. They're very competitive. They're exciting. They're controversial. There's lots on the line. I mean, drama.
There were 3 terrific things yesterday. Well, I mean, 4 if you include both soccer games. You had drama, and then you had something that honks Miller and Moulton off to no end, and apparently John Smoltz as well.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, my son, he did a podcast. My son's in town, got in town yesterday, and he listens to a certain podcast, and they had Smoltz on, and Smoltz apparently railed on pitching in today's baseball. So I know for a fact, based on what I was told of his thoughts of the game, he was not happy last night when the 8th inning started of the Florida Marlins game. Marlins are decisively in front, 9 spit. But their starter, David, how many pitches had he thrown through 7 innings?
So Miller, Moulton, and our former producer start texting one another. I forget who sent the first text. Might have been me.
They were mostly you.
Yuri Perez had a perfect game through 6. And so I just sent that out. And I think then you tried to find it.
I did find it. No. Okay. I found it. I asked you where it was. You told me. I put it on immediately.
So yesterday, I don't know how many of you wanted to or tried to watch baseball, but NBC had the rights to every single baseball game yesterday. So whether it was on Peacock, NBCSN, NBC, okay, they had USA, they had the rights to every major league game. So the only place you could find this chance at perfection was on Peacock. And then Yuri Perez has a 9-pitch 7th inning.
So again, after 7 innings, perfect game. How many pitches has he thrown?
Now, he had thrown 92 pitches. In fairness, was his 3rd start off the injured list. However, the injury was not an arm injury, a shoulder, elbow. It wasn't. It was actually a thigh injury. But it was just his 3rd start off the injured list. But he has, ladies and gentlemen, to quickly review, a perfect game through 7. He's thrown 92 pitches. His last inning, he threw 9 pitches.
When the bottom of the 8th inning began, did he start the inning, David?
Well, he did, sitting in the dugout with the jacket on, because his day and night was over, because they had made the decision before the game that it was 90 pitches, and that was it. And so
they pull Perez. He does not start the 8th inning. And I, at that point, am going to have trouble ever rooting for this team again. Ever.
I believe the exact quote was, "I hope they lose every game for the rest of the season." But Mark implied starting with the next game. I text him a few minutes later and say, still time to lose this game. The guy who came in for Perez faced 6 batters and all of them got on. It's 8-5 and they're still batting.
Look, I understand that these pitchers are commodities now. I do understand that. We even the Marlins invest a lot in their players, not as much as what other teams invest in their players. And someday soon, another team may invest in Perez when he goes and gets a contract with another Major League Baseball team. So to the 29 other teams in baseball, they might want to send the Miami Marlins a thank you card for saving his arm, thigh, big toe, for Christ's sake.
Uh-oh.
But you don't. Perfection, David. Look, we should have one more on the books than we technically have, because the Tigers pitcher years back threw one and the umpire screwed it up. But
Yes,
what do we have? 20? How many of these? 28?
I think it's 24.
24 perfect games in the history of baseball. They've been playing this game for over 125 years. And there's 24. And this guy had a shot at another. And they don't even let him start the 8th. Jeez, oh, Pete, what are we watching, man? And the thing that made me happiest is that the Sacramento crowd there,
right,
the minor league ballpark crowd, they were honked. They felt like they'd been cheated. They stuck around at a 9-spit game. And the pitcher gets up, the relief pitcher comes out, and immediately walks the first batter, because why would you throw strikes?
Right. Well, there's the perfection. Then the next guy gets a blue pit, so there's the no-no. And at that point, it's like, well, hell, let's see what we can do. So the Marlins, who were up 8-0 when they took Yuri Perez out, ended up winning 9-8 with the game-winning run at home plate in the bottom of the ninth for the A's. And I was with you, Mark, for as much as you know, I am really rooting on the Marlins. Okay. But at that moment, I said, a 2-run homer here wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Damn right it wouldn't be. But the Marlins get the victory and save their pitcher. Why should we get perfection in 2026? We had close to it yesterday afternoon and night, though. The soccer was great. We'll talk about that. U.S. men's team tonight.
The Floormeisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floormeisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in. 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
No!
This summer, there's only one place to experience the roar of the World Cup at the British Open Pub in Bonita Springs, your World Cup headquarters, where the team is bringing every match live, full sound on every TV across the patio, with daily food and drink specials from the opening match on June 11th through the final on July 19th. Catch the electric atmosphere for every England and USA match and all the matches in between at the British Open Pub, Bonita Springs, at the shops of Pelican Landing, where the World Cup comes alive.
Sleep problem but don't want to wear a CPAP mask? This is Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. The mask wasn't working for me, and I didn't think I had an alternative. I do. We all do. They have such simple alternatives with greater success than the mask. Visit sleeptreatmentdirect.com. That's sleeptreatmentdirect.com. And if you are like me and your CPAP machine isn't working for you, it's time for a change. Call 239-444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Well, Sonny, I think the Cape Verde Friday was better because I thought the level of play Friday was unreal. How good it was. Also, the officiating drove me crazy last night. I'm a novice. I'm an amateur. I don't get it. Soccer is a tough sport to watch if you're a hockey person. It is, because you appreciate the skill so much. But I thought Harry Kane might get thrown out yesterday. He was snapping, losing his blank last night. And I go, oh my gosh, you're going to get thrown out? RCB, he kicked the ball. Okay, that's the thing. I think Mark and I are on the same page on this one. We don't understand that one because he kicked the ball.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Thanks so much for being with us on this Monday, coming off another tremendous sports weekend. Obviously, a big sporting event tonight. The U.S. trying to advance, a place where they've only been twice before, the quarterfinals of the World Cup. That's what a win tonight would do for the United States. Okay. Unfortunately for the U.S., they're going to have to try to do it without their leading scorer in the tournament, Folarin Balogun. Oh, wait, hold on. Breaking news. He can play. Bunch of phone calls, one of them from the president, and all of a sudden FIFA goes, I mean, we don't have to abide by this penalty that we handed down if we don't want to. We found something in the charter. Okay, Article 27. Okay, I got it right here. Basically says we can do whatever we want, whenever we want. So how about we let your leading scorer play? What do you say? Huh, okay. Rest of the soccer world's losing their minds.
As well they should. But, we've talked about it for a while. The one thing that I think we've been pretty consistent about with this show is that FIFA is the most corrupt organization in all of sports. And it's not close. The NCAA looks at FIFA and says, wow, you guys are screwed up. The Olympics look at FIFA and say, wow, you guys are a mess.
You guys have ethics problems, right?
And, for those who say, well, it wasn't a red card in the first place. I don't know what to tell you. See, they gave him one. Okay. And by the letter of the law, yeah, it was. None of you like it, but we don't like it. But and the fact that they waited, 4 days to overturn it?
Right. I mean, at least they did it yesterday and not this afternoon.
Well, there's that. I mean, if you were Belgium's coach, wouldn't you be a little ticked off? You've prepared to play a team a certain way, and now, hey, by the way, they get to go back to playing everybody.
Well, the thing that's causing you to lose your mind is they don't do this hardly with anyone else for any other country ever. So
now,
it's like, what are you doing?
Apparently, they did it, though, for Ronaldo.
In November, apparently.
He had a red card, and he was going to get 3 games, which meant he would have missed the first 2 games of this World Cup.
Right. Happened in qualifying, right?
Right. So he didn't. He only missed the final qualifying match, and he was able to return for their opener.
He's on double secret probation, though, Mark. He's,
there's no doubt.
He can't, if he jaywalks in the next 100 games, okay, he could face,
Dean
problems.
Wormer's got his eye on him. We know that.
Right.
As long as Mrs. Wormer stays out of the produce aisle and she won't fake ooh and ah. But yes, David, there is precedent, I guess.
Kind of, sort of.
Right. So we get our guy back.
Yep.
And for the rest of the world, you know what? Bafangu, deal with it. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, listen, we got 3 hosts of this damn here tournament, and 2 of them are out, okay? We're trying to keep certain teams alive as long as we can. All I know is that after Miller and Moulton got done having our initial text reaction back and forth to each other, which was actually very short, very sweet. All right. I forget who it was again who reminded the other, hey, I heard somewhere along the line that this whole thing is just a TV show. Is that true?
So look, it is what it is. I don't think it's right. As someone who wants to see the American team do well, I'm happy that they get their guy back. I don't think it's tainted. I think this is FIFA. FIFA's tainted. So how can the tournament not be?
It's funny. Obviously, we're rooting for the U.S. And in your case, I don't believe to you it was red card worthy, right?
In the moment I didn't, but soccer, I didn't think the red card last night to the England player was worthy. My son's here. He's got 2 friends. He's in his late 20s now. Sorry, late 20s. I have to remind him of that.
Right.
But he's 27. So he's got his buddies that he texts with, and 2 of them played soccer. Is not in college, but played at a decent level, high school club soccer. He texts him. He's like, that's a joke. And they were both like, no, that's an automatic red card.
But I said to you.
My point is, to me, it wasn't. I'm not a soccer person. What I'm saying is last night, like in the England game, I didn't think that was a red card. These 2 guys are like, that's an automatic red card. Stepping on the ankle apparently is an automatic red card. We're all upset because Messi didn't get one for doing the same thing. Well, they don't have consistency in their calls. That bothers us. Can I just ask you for a second? Can you help me with a sport that's consistent with their calls? Any league, NBA, NHL, NFL. Why would we expect it in this sport when we don't get it in any other?
I do think, though, we've always believed that one of two calls was the most severe in sports. It was either pass interference or it was
Roughing the passer,
well,
targeting.
targeting, because you're ejected, at least in college. Okay, you're ejected, and but I mean this red card thing, because also in college you could be, but they've taken that away. You know, you used to also get ejected from the next game, but I mean this red card penalty. Think about how severe it is. So you're out of that one and you're out of the next one. And oh, by the way, your team doesn't get to replace you from the game you're currently playing that you got kicked out of. I mean, at least in football, Mark, if you hit me in the head and they kick you out, your team gets to replace you.
Right. No, you're right. I mean, it's the high sticking penalty, high sticking major, but the guy never gets to come back.
Right. You play shorthanded the rest of the game. What? But
I mean, it's very remarkable that England was able to score again, being down a man. That hardly ever happens. Typically, when a guy gets a red card, they just play D for the rest of the night.
So if you didn't see it last night, and maybe some of you, because there was an hour rain delay, and so it was too late for you, or you made it to halftime, but that's all you could do. Wow. The drama. Last night's England-Mexico match was a reality TV show. It was a season's worth of a reality TV show in 1 2-hour time period on the pitch. It was unreal. It wasn't the best soccer, but it was enthralling. The drama, the controversies, the screaming and yelling. Divorce court doesn't have the screaming and yelling that was going on between the players and the head referee yesterday.
I will say that is one of the remarkable things about this sport to me, is that there is no other sport where the official takes the verbal abuse without being able really to do anything like an official takes in the game of soccer. I mean, you would get a penalty and you'd get thrown out in baseball. You'd get an unsportsmanlike in football. You'd get a 10-minute misconduct in hockey. You'd get a technical in basketball.
Well, you'd probably even get a second technical because they won't hesitate to throw you out if you keep yelling at them.
Miller and Moulton.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Floormeisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floormeisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in. 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe. and South.
If you're a business who targets men, please know there is no better and more economical way to reach your target audience than us at Miller & Moulton. So let us help you make money. You can reach out to Mark at that Mark Miller or me at the David Moulton on X, or text us at 21,000. We have a proven product, a good reputation, and lots of quality segments that we can attach your company's name to.
This is Miller & Moulton.
Good morning, Johnny. Sonny, did you hear what the Cape Verde goaltender had to say afterwards? He said, I was walking over to congratulate Messi, and before I could get to him, he gets to me and he embraces me and he says all these nice things about me and our team and our country. And he said he left me speechless. Johnny Mac, good luck today. AJC, that is an interesting that you could, you could foul me, but, we could let Messi take the penalty. That is an interesting rule. Because then, of course, Brazil gets a penalty and doesn't put their best players taking it. And I forget who it was in the chat room who brought up earlier that, when you take Harry Kane out, if they tie it, he can't come back in for overtime and he can't come back in for penalties.
The same thing happened in the Portugal game had that gone that way.
Right.
Ronaldo came out for
Yep.
a defensive substitution. And, I mean, it's an interesting rule. Once again, this is a bunch of people who don't watch soccer telling the soccer people how their sport should be played. I do find that fun.
Well,
AJC's like, that should be the one. Guys, these are their rules.
now, see, Paula, I'd argue with you all day on Mbappe. Okay. And I don't know how much time we have left. But first off, that goalie was breaking all the rules when Mbappe was lining up for the penalty kick. So he had lost respect for the goalie on the penalty kick. Okay. Plus, they lost respect for Paraguay because of how they played that match. They were just trying to keep their mouths shut and get off the field. Okay. So I totally disagree with you. I thought France at the end of that match could have punched everybody from Paraguay in the face.
Here we go.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. 2 hours from now, JP Dellacamera will join us. It's been a while. In fact, I think it's been over 10 years since he's been on the show. Yeah, we've been fired 3 times since then. We were in the afternoons the last time I think we had JP on the show. So, but the preeminent play-by-play man of U.S. soccer, he'll join us coming up a couple hours from now. Lot to get to. Busy weekend. Don't know if we'll get to all of it, but we'll try. Time now for
The Starting Five. 5 big stories you need to know. Here is the Starting Five.
2 round of 16 matches yesterday. Winners advance to the quarters. Losers go home. Brazil sat back. Norway controlled possession 70% of the match. Oh, by the way, Brazil missed a penalty kick. Oh, by the way, they missed a breakaway, shot it wide. Norway said, well, we gave you a lot of chances. If you're not going to take it, we'll take it from you. And that Holland guy scored not once but twice in the final 12 minutes of regulation. And even though Neymar added a penalty in the final minute of stoppage time to become the only player to score in 4 different World Cups, by the way, Norway, after taking down Germany, says bye-bye, so long, farewell to Brazil. Wow. 2-1 Norway. So Norway got back to the hotel last night and said, let's watch this England-Mexico match, see what happens. What didn't happen? England led 2-1 at the half. Then Harry Kane scores on a penalty kick. Harry Kane, Harry Kane. And then England proceeds to get a guy kicked out with a red card. And then Harry Kane gets called for a penalty in the box. And Mexico makes it 3-2. And there are 32 more minutes that England is going to have to play down a man. Down, up 3-2 against Mexico. They held off the Mexicans. Down a man for the final 32 minutes. 21 of regulation, 11 of stoppage time. 11 minutes. They give Mexico every chance in the world. All right. But England does something which only 2 other teams have ever done. Gone to Azteca and beaten Mexico in a match that counts for something. 3-2, the 3 Lions. It'll be Norway and England Saturday in Miami in the quarterfinals.
Just a quick correction. Norway beat Ivory Coast to get there, not Germany, for what it's worth. Paraguay beat Germany.
My bad.
No problem. I'm just saving you from people going nuts.
All right. Today, this afternoon, if you will, Portugal, Spain, Ronaldo confirming what we all figured since he's 41 years old, that, yeah, this will be his last World Cup. Spain, by the way, yet to give up a goal. Now, Mexico had yet to give up a goal and gave up 3 and lost last night at home. But Portugal, Spain is the early one. And then, of course, the U.S. and Belgium. The United States getting their leading scorer, Balogun, back when FIFA, citing Article 27 of its own rules, which allows them to, quote, the judicial body may decide to fully or partially suspend the implementation of a disciplinary measure, i.e., we can change our mind if we want to. Apparently, the U.S. spent 4 days calling FIFA, and President Trump even dialed in and said, you want to reconsider this?
Who do I got to send some money to?
Right. Baseball. Marlins led 8-0 after 7. Yuri Perez had a perfect game. He had thrown 92 pitches. They took him out. They almost lost. Marlins hold on 9-8 over the A's. They are tied with the Cardinals for the final playoff spot in the National League, by the way. Unbelievable. That it's the Marlins and the Cardinals, both of them. Both picked to finish bottom part of their division. Mets had a 10-3 lead in the 9th. Next thing you know, it was 10-9, and the Braves had runners on second and third with 2 out. Mets hold on and beat Atlanta. Atlanta's lead in the East is 3. Philly lost to KC 5-2. Royals had lost 4 in a row. Cubs avoid the sweep at home against the Cardinals. They beat St. Louis 6-4. Mentioned Cardinals and Marlins tied for the final playoff spot. Cubs 6 back of the Brewers, who rallied yesterday with 3 in the 7th and beat Arizona 3-2. Padres had lost 8 in a row. They beat the Dodgers yesterday 5-2. Houston held Tampa Bay to 4 hits, beat the Rays 2-0. However, the Rays lead remains 4. Now the Yankees are in trouble. We said it years ago. Listen, the Yankees have a lot of ups and downs. But if they ever have a series against the Twins when they're in a tailspin and they don't win the series against the Twins, they're in trouble. The Twins went to the Bronx and won a series from the Yankees. That hadn't happened in 12 years. Take a look at the Yankees' record against the Twins. It's a little bit shy of the Globetrotters against the Generals, but it's in the area code. 6-1 Minnesota. Yankees are 4 back. Reds avoid the sweep at the hands of the Orioles, 3-2. Red Sox, bad news, Ranger Suarez had to be pulled from the game in the 3rd inning due to injury. Good news is they beat the Angels 7-5. And they're only like 4 out of the playoffs. Don't get me started. Seattle leads the West by a game and a half. They shut out Toronto 4-0. Texas fell back to 500, yet they're still the 6th seed. They lost to Detroit 6-3. The Tigers, who are like what, 3rd worst team in the AL, something like that. Yeah, they're only 5 games out of the playoffs. So on one hand, I want to get just a boatload of stuff for this Scooble guy. And on the other hand, oh, hell, I can make the playoffs.
The question is, I don't know how much they're going to get for him. That's the problem. The more I read, the more there's not a lot. I mean, we'll see what happens in a month if someone becomes really desperate. But right now, the way people are talking, it's not what Detroit thought they were going to get. Put it that way.
White Sox and Guardians played a big 4-game series in Cleveland. Guardians won the first 2 games. White Sox won the last 2. So the White Sox entered Cleveland with a 1-game lead, and they leave Cleveland with a 1-game lead. 7-6 Chicago over Cleveland. Pirates with 5 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th, beat the Nats 11-5. Both teams above 500 coming out of the 4th of July holiday. Both in 4th in their divisions. Colorado, Kyle Karros. And if you go Karros, any relation to? Yeah, it's his kid. Hit a 3-run homer in the 8th. Rockies rally, beat the Giants 7-6. Golf, John Deere Classic. Chris Gotterup with his brother on the bag. They go 9 under 62 on Sunday. They post it 20 under. They say, come and get it if you can. Max Homa gets within 1, but Ben Coles is tied with 2 holes to play. He's got the par 5 17th, doesn't birdie it. Then he's got the doable 18th if you drive it in the fairway. Well, he striped it. Had like half 8-iron into the green. Yeah, pulled it into the water. Made double. Got her up. His third win of the year. His fourth win in 51 weeks, if you go back to the Scottish Open last year. A year ago at this time, he was 165th in the world. He's now 14th.
Shows you what happens when you finally get the W. Because Coles, that was his 120th start. He'd never won. He still hasn't. It's hard.
2 years ago, he had a one-shot lead on 18 in the Byron Nelson. It was an easy par 5. He makes bogey. His playing partner makes birdie. He loses. Still looking for that win. U.S. Senior Open. Padraig Harrington pulled away. Best round of the day yesterday to win by 4. But George McNeil, who was your 36-hole leader, he finished in third place, took home about $250,000.
Couldn't make a putt yesterday. Hit the first 10 greens. And I believe at one point through 14 holes, George had 29 putts. He hit the ball fantastically. Fell apart a little bit after that. I mean, when you keep hitting it to 10 to 15 feet and keep missing, it just gets to you. And, good for George. I'm proud of him. I've known George a long time. He's a great guy. Happy for him. But damn. And George, when he gets going, George is a streaky putter. When George starts rolling the rock, look out. And I was just hoping after he made the bomb on 5, I'm like, ooh, that could get him going. Yeah, I was watching senior golf yesterday.
There you go.
Watched every damn hole.
NASCAR, Chase Briscoe led 51 laps and won at Chicagoland Speedway. They didn't do the street race this year. They went back to Chicagoland. Ross Chastain finished 18th. Man, he's having a bad year. Tennis. Women upsets yesterday at Wimbledon. Number 1 seed Sabalenka taking on Naomi Osaka. Sabalenka has been a finalist 3 times. Osaka had never gotten to the 4th round before. She hates grass, can't play on grass. And she blew Sabalenka right off the court. Won in straight sets. Jessica Pegula, the 4 seed, won in 3. And Mark, very important match yesterday. Coco Gauff forced to a 3rd set, trying to hold on and win. She's fighting her opponent, and the local curfew, 11 p.m., no exceptions. Well, except for Andy Murray one time, who was serving for the match at 11 o'clock, and they extended the curfew 2 minutes for Andy Murray, but Coco Gauff ain't Andy Murray at Wimbledon. And so Coco Gauff won at 10:58 p.m. So beat the curfew and advances to the quarters. Men's side, Djokovic needed 4 sets. He's won more matches at Wimbledon than anyone ever. And Yannick Sinner, straight sets, advances to the quarters as well. Baseball All-Star Game will be a week from tomorrow night in Philadelphia. Rays with 4 starters, including Junior Caminero starting at third base. And let me tell you, the fans got a lot wrong this year. I have never seen more guys voted in as starters who have no business being starters. In fact, a lot of them have no business being on the team. Okay, but glad they got Junior Caminero starting at third. And the Marlins even got a couple of all-stars as well. Rays ended up with 4. I mean, after all, they are the best team in the American League and third best team in baseball, but I digress. And at 9 minutes before the hour, that was your starting 5 big stories you needed to know here on Miller and Moulton.
I will say the Coles kid there that didn't win at the John Deere, that's the guy. And look, you make a lot of money for finishing second. He'll be just fine. But winning on that tour is everything. Winning on that tour gets you to majors, gets you to Augusta. And having that opportunity slip by, because Goddard had to play out of his tree to get there. Coles, that just, to me, winning on the PGA Tour is a lot harder than people realize. Once you win and know how to win, guys Goddard's the perfect example. Finally got the win at the Scottish. He's won 3 times since then. Now you all know who Chris Goddard is.
In fact, he got on for him. In fact, he got on such a roll last summer, Mark. You and I were wondering, should he be on the Ryder Cup team? I mean, he's winning tournaments and he's on a roll. What more do you want for a guy on the Ryder Cup? Plus, he beat Rory at the Scottish Open last year.
So just one of those things to me. And even, on the senior thing, George McNeil's won 2 tournaments in his life. Big tournaments. And they were secondary PGA Tour events. The Puerto Rico Open and the Shriners in Vegas. Not big fields, if you will. I know it's the seniors, but he's in the final group 2 days in a row. It's a different experience. And unfortunately, he couldn't get it rolling on Sunday. Would have loved to have seen him win that because he's having 50's been good on George.
Oh, my goodness. What's that get him close to $1 million this year?
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Floor Meisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floor Meisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in. 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floor Meisters, just keeping it real. The Cape Coral Police Department is growing, and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000, depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. Capecops.com. Be brave, be best. Be Cape.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
No!
This summer, there's only one place to experience the roar of the World Cup at the British Open Pub in Bonita Springs, your World Cup headquarters, where the team is bringing every match live, full sound on every TV across the patio with daily food and drink specials from the opening match on June 11th through the final on July 19th. Catch the electric atmosphere for every England and USA match and all the matches in between at the British Open Pub, Bonita Springs, at the shops of Pelican Landing, where the World Cup comes alive. If you're a business who targets men, please know there is no better and more economical way to reach your target audience than us at Miller & Moulton. So let us help you make money. You can reach out to Mark at that Mark Miller or me at the David Moulton on X, or text us at 21,000. We have a proven product, a good reputation, and lots of quality segments that we can attach your company's name to. Miller & Moulton, we're like that old pizza box. You've had the rest, now try the best. Miller & Moulton, millerandmoulton.com.
This is Miller & Moulton.
I think that's a little high, Sonny. I think it'll get in the 30s. Like it might average 30. That would be tremendous. They averaged, 24 and change for the last game. Monday night, great TV night, no competition. I think it can average in the 30s.
Yeah, I think Fox would love, like Mark said, it peaked at 31 and change their last match, but averaged 24-4, I think. I think Fox is probably hoping to get last match's peak as the rating. Yeah, I forget who's asking in the chat room, but yeah, when they put the roof on at Wimbledon, on the main court in Court 1, it obviously raised the possibility that they could have a couple matches go very late. Well, the neighborhood said, between noise and traffic, yeah, we ain't interested in that. And they would not let them play after 11 o'clock. And I mean, this was the neighborhood saying to Wimbledon, nope. I would like to nominate for the goober of the day, Baby Jules, in the chat room. She referenced Chris Gotterup and TGL when we were talking about him right before the last break. TGL.
He played well in that. That's well, I mean, that's the stepping stone to great golf, is how well you hit it into a screen. I tried to just leave it go because I threw up in my mouth when I read the comment.
And I think it's an indication that no one is going to out goober Baby Jules today. Because I don't think he can out reference the TGL. Especially since she was serious.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Hour 2 of Miller and Moulton on this first Monday of July. Our football magic numbers, haven't gotten to them yet. 54. 54 days away to the start of the college football season. And 65 days, 9 weeks from Wednesday, is when the NFL season will kick off, with the Seahawks hosting the Patriots in a Super Bowl rematch. Famous 65s, Mark. Off the top of your head, you got any?
Off the top of my head? No, this isn't my game, but I've got lists here because I do homework.
Okay.
So I'm ready for you. But it's offensive lineman time.
Sure.
Maybe you're going to get excited. I mean, when I go Gary Zimmerman.
Yeah.
You got to go a little deeper than that to go to Tom Mack. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Little Elvin Bethea action.
Right?
Mac
Montoya from the Bengals.
Oh, good player. Not a Hall of Famer. Good player.
No, Bethea and Mack are your Hall of Famers.
And I think Zimmerman.
Zimmerman's probably your best 65. Won a Super Bowl, 7-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro.
Okay.
That's kind of a, pretty distinguished list. Hall of Fame as well.
I got a question. You and I are hockey guys. Currently, Erik Karlsson, right? He's 65.
That's correct.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer, isn't he? He's won the Norris like 2-3 times.
I mean, he's right there. I don't know his numbers, but I think so. I think so. But the rest of the hockey players, there's not a lot there.
No, we missed out on a big one yesterday.
We did, but that's all right. We're not here I'm not working today just so I can say Mario Lemieux.
Hello. Right. So 54 and 65 are your football magic numbers. So there.
We're going to have another couple weeks before we get to numbers where people are going to start really, really recognizing players, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I would. Next
week,
week,
the 50s, we'll do some linebackers. We'll get some good linebackers in the 50s.
Maybe a couple hockey players. Don't know if that'll start bringing the basketball players in or not. So we'll see.
Well, 50 was the number. That was a center number for a long time.
Sure. I mean, the great kites of the world.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Right. I mean, for those of you that played like grade school and high school basketball, the center wore the 50s because those were the biggest jerseys.
Right. The Steve Mixes of the world, right? That get in here with your 50-something.
Right.
Yeah. So those are the football magic numbers. Soccer carrying the day in terms of excitement, in terms of attention. The U.S. in action tonight. On the importance for U.S. soccer going forward scale. The importance for U.S. soccer going forward scale.
For me personally, it's an 11 because I need to get a few more segments out of this. There's not a lot going on right now. What are we going to do? Talk baseball? Nothing going on in the NFL. I mean, nothing going on in college football. So I could use another week of World Cup.
Wait, did you just go like Stephen A. Smith there? You weren't in the question. Okay, you were not in the question, Stephen A.
I put myself in. I put you in as well. I put us in it.
I didn't ask, for the significance to Miller and Moulton, how big is the U.S. soccer match tonight? I said for the significance and importance for U.S. soccer in this country going forward, how big is tonight?
Well, for USA Soccer, I mean, I think USA Soccer is in a good spot. I think the fact that we have multiple players who play for European club teams and are contributed on said teams is something we've never had for this country as far as that goes. I think USA Soccer's in a great place.
Okay.
For the soccer fan, for USA Soccer's popularity in this country, I think tonight's gigantic. I said before this tournament started, anything less than the quarterfinals is a disappointment. So winning tonight is everything. Look I believe Spain will beat Portugal. I think that they're better. I don't think that it's really close, but maybe I'm wrong. Spain was one of the two favorites. Their style's a little boring. Right now, I will say this publicly, and I have no problem doing it. Anybody but France. That's where I am in this World Cup. So, would love to see. I think Portugal's more fun than Spain. Spain can play a boring style, but I don't know if we're as a nation with one of the best teams ever going into this tournament for the U.S. I don't think that we're ready for a team like Spain yet. So if we were to get through tonight and just get the opportunity to play an elite country in the quarterfinals and just see what happens. Maybe we lose 1-0. Maybe we get a couple of chances. Maybe it doesn't, somehow maybe they get to, could be a game. You get to extra time. Who knows what the hell can happen in these things? But I think tonight is big for the soccer fan, because to me, like I said, I thought we needed to get to the quarters. We're playing a team that we can beat. We got one of our strikers back. We pulled every string that we could. Lie, cheat, steal, pay people off.
And then when that didn't work, we called the president.
Right. Well, who's to say he didn't pay someone off?
Well, just listen,
Whatever diplomacy you got to use at this point.
Once you pick up the bat phone, anything can happen.
Exactly. But we have fans in this country who think we can win. So I think if we don't even get to the quarterfinals, I don't know what 30 million people are going to watch this tonight. This is going to get a huge number.
Right.
24 million was the average of the last game. They'll get 30 tonight.
Which is way beyond, though. You keep talking about soccer fan. There's casual sports fan, stick and ball sports fan, and then soccer fan. They're in the minority.
But the sports fan, when this tournament's over, they go away for 4 years. And when this thing's in Morocco, Spain, and Portugal in 4 years, sports fan will watch, but not like they're watching a tournament in their backyard. I mean, we're not just watching the U.S. team play. Like last night's number's going to be a monster.
I think it's going to beat the 24 million for the last United States match. I really do. And the fact that it got pushed back an extra hour into prime time, so it was 9 to 11 Eastern on a Sunday, unopposed. Okay.
Well, now when you say it's going to beat the 24 million, are you counting the Telemundo number for that, or are you saying on Fox? Because there's no way to me it beats it just on Fox.
Okay, I actually think it'll be very close on Fox. Could be wrong. I said a couple days ago that I think the combined number, the U.S. Telemundo number from the U.S.'s last match, I think that last night's England-Mexico match on Telemundo and Fox will easily beat the last US match.
I'm pretty sure that Mexico-Ecuador is the most watched game in this country of the tournament so far.
Correct. On one network, right?
Right. So Mexico-England combined
monster
is going to be huge.
Right. But I think it's big. The last one I thought was an absolute must. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 37. They had to have it. Otherwise, they're a fraud. Overhyped once again, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And I don't want to hear anything for at least the next 4 years. I'm done with U.S. men's soccer. So they got that one. Okay. Now, it's more than icing to me, Mark. I think this is still a pretty decent size of the cake. Okay. But I don't think it's an absolute must necessity. I think on the scale of 1 to 10, it's like an 8.
Okay. I'll give you that. I don't know if it's a 10, but we like brackets, David.
Yes, we do.
We really do. So we understand what a bracket looks like.
Yep.
When we don't even get to the final 8, I think people will watch, but will have forgotten about it by lunch tomorrow if we lose. They'll be angry in the morning that they invested this much time. We didn't even get to the damn quarterfinals. I mean, the other side of it, David, if we win, see, then the sports fans watching the other matches too, though. Then it starts becoming, we'll watch all week, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. And I think, are we next Sunday?
I believe so. Fox will cash checks in a big way. and the advertisers have done tremendously well. But if the U.S. plays again, now they've already sold the advertising, I believe. And they can't really go back for more money, or can they? Because this is one where they may ask a premium and just pay somebody their money back, David. You understand this better than I. But do you think this, if we get to the next game, would they basically go to their advertisers and demand more money if it's offered to them by someone else?
I don't think they're allowed to, but what does sometimes happen, amazingly, is a previously sold out match, all of a sudden the inventory is available and it's at a higher price than it's ever been.
So these water breaks are money if they get through tonight.
Right. They're only filling 2 of those 3 minutes with commercials. They got 2 extra minutes they can sell.
And trust us, they'll sell them. They will sell them.
FIFA will get half.
And FIFA's wanting the U.S. to win because the price of the U.S. television rights for the next World Cup go through the damn roof if the U.S. can play one more match.
Well, why do you think they reactivated Balogun, for goodness sakes? Remember, it's a TV show.
American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Farrow & Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Farrow & Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Farrow & Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs.
The Floormeisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floormeisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Cape Coral Police Department is growing and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000 depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to CapeCops.com. CapeCops.com. Be brave, be best, be Cape.
Go!
This summer, there's only one place to experience the roar of the World Cup at the British Open Pub in Bonita Springs, your World Cup headquarters, where the team is bringing every match live, full sound on every TV across the patio with daily food and drink specials from the opening match on June 11th through the final on July 19th. Catch the electric atmosphere for every England and USA match and all the matches in between at the British Open Pub, Bonita Springs, at the shops of Pelican Landing, where the World Cup comes alive.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Wow, look at that. It's unreal. Did you hear what McCartney did at their wedding Friday night at the Garden?
I heard he sang a song, but other than that, I didn't read two things about that wedding. A couple of headlines, so I really didn't.
He played I Wanna Hold Your Hand. He
Okay.
hadn't played that song publicly since 1964.
Huh. And again, he still didn't play it publicly.
I don't know. There were quite a few people there.
I like that Vrabel was there with his wife. That's my favorite part of the whole thing. Really my favorite part of the whole thing.
I'm wondering if that was done as like a joke.
Who was telling the joke? Taylor
I just,
Travis or
yeah, I thought it was like the Kelseys going, this will be funny. Because I thought that's hysterical.
The floor.
Are we coming back?
Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com. Not sure why. There it is. Something
You're
happened
listening
there.
to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
I was going to say, usually you blame cold weather on things not acting right, but it's been so damn hot that who knows? Maybe some equipment's beginning to overheat. Who the heck knows?
I think there might have been an extra 30 in there by mistake. I don't know because I left during that break, so something wasn't right. That's on me.
Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Balogun, U.S. leading scorer, has scored in every match we've played. He was reinstated yesterday afternoon after being suspended for tonight's round of 16 match against Belgium. FIFA went, wait a minute, what did we do? We suspended the U.S.'s leading scorer? What'd we do that for? Well, he got a red card and the rules say, well, find a rule that allows us to overturn this. So it took him 4 days, but, some intern came running in yesterday morning and said, guys, there's this Article 27 of our disciplinary code. Okay, Balogun can play. Come on, what does it say? It says the judicial body may decide to fully or partially suspend the implementation of any disciplinary measure. What does that mean?
I like it. I like how you have fun and cute and the intern. No, I mean, let's just call it what it is. Somebody got paid off so he could play. It's FIFA. Quit with the jokes. Let's get to what this is. They paid someone off. The U.S. television market is huge. There's a TV contract coming up. This is somebody getting paid off. This is Bitcoin in a bag. I'm telling you right now, just start checking the accounts.
So you don't think they just righted a wrong?
No, I think someone got paid off. They got pressured and they got paid off. It's FIFA.
You don't think maybe after being pressured, they just looked for a loophole? No?
FIFA. What? Okay, David, I'm being 100% serious here.
I know I'm not.
If choice A is they righted a wrong, choice B is somebody got paid off. Which one are you honestly going to go with?
Oh, Mark, well, you could put 13 more choices up there. I'm still voting B.
Thank
Absolutely. I'm just finding this hysterical. Hysterical, because here's the other thing. When has the international soccer community ever done anything to benefit the United States
Thank you.
in soccer? They hate us. Okay.
But FIFA knows that, and I don't know the breakdown of television dollars that FIFA gets from their partners. I mean, do they get more combined in Europe? Because every country would be different of how they pay FIFA. But I mean, I would think the single largest television contract is the U.S. television contract.
I don't know if it is. I just know it's 441 million is what they're getting from Fox for this year. I do know Europe is divided because, like in England, by the way, FIFA doesn't get what they want. I think because they passed a law that says, like, essentially the World Cup has to be able to be seen widely and accessible and cheap. So FIFA only gets, dimes out of England compared to what they really want to get. And I don't know what the rules are in other European countries, television wise. But I would have to guess that if we're not one, we're two, that maybe there's, I don't know, a television network somewhere else around the world where soccer is, the be all end all, where they get as much as the US dollar, but it's 441 right now. The thought is by the next World Cup, it'll be $1 billion or more. And that's just for the English speaking US North American rights. That's all. Telemundo/NBC, they have their own deal with FIFA. The Spanish speaking World Cup rights.
Yeah, 480 Fox is what I'm seeing. And
Okay.
I know you gave it 465 Telemundo. Okay, that's just the US.
So English and Spanish, okay, they're getting 940 million?
Right.
Okay.
Right. The UK for the BBC and ITV, whatever the hell that is, 350 million. Then France, 150 million. Then Germany, Spain, Brazil, BN Sports, and I don't know what that covers, but China, Australia, Africa, India is the lowest.
So there you have it.
Right. I mean, Europe on the whole is more. When you add all the European nations together, they're at like 1.45 billion. So,
right. Just give us one more negotiating period, because I know they'll end up paying more too. But I really think that our combined money will probably be equal to Europe's combined money next go around because of how monstrous these TV ratings are.
and what I just looked at quickly, the European deals are renewable and longer, so you're on to this. So there you have it. Yep.
Once again, it's a TV show. I know you guys hate when we say that. It's all a big TV show. It is. Think about, what do we do as a country? Okay, we're more united about watching television than we are about anything else. Honestly, our love for television right now is the number one thing we have going in this country.
Texter says on the Pelican Roofing in Florida text line, I think there was enough pressure. They found a loophole. You guys are way off saying FIFA is nothing but payoffs. Try being a little more positive. I'm being very positive. I'm just being honest. It's the most corrupt organization in sports. These guys damn near went to jail internationally for the last one. The guy Sepp Blatter had to step down. He took so much money. How do you think Qatar got this thing?
Right. Qatar, they didn't have a soccer field in the country when they were awarded the rights to the World Cup. Hello. Here's what I love about this. The soccer community is really torn because most of the soccer community, I believe, Mark, like the soccer people who gave their opinion on the Balogun red card, a majority of them, like the whole, Henri and the guy that sits next to him, they both thought the red card was BS. Okay, blah blah blah.
Credit for him playing too.
I know, I love him. They're together great. They got to get Lawless away from them. He adds nothing to the two of them. Okay, those two with Rebecca have great chemistry. They're funny. They can talk serious. They can laugh about anything.
Keep Lawless where the U.S. plays, because when they go to him in the quick vignettes, it's actually pretty good. There's a little back and forth, and then they can just say, we're done with you, and we can go back to our show. It's actually perfect.
Yep. But back to the soccer heads. They didn't think Balogun deserved a red card. Okay, I believe the majority of them from what I saw. So they think that FIFA did the quote unquote right thing here, but they also did something that's virtually unprecedented. And you could see yesterday they were like, I mean, for as much as they think he should have been playing in this match, they don't like the way he's now playing in this match.
Landon Donovan was like, I'm happy he's playing, but Miller and Moulton.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Floor Meisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floor Meisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in. 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
No!
This summer, there's only one place to experience the roar of the World Cup at the British Open Pub in Bonita Springs, your World Cup headquarters, where the team is bringing every match live, full sound on every TV across the patio, with daily food and drink specials from the opening match on June 11th through the final on July 19th. Catch the electric atmosphere for every England and USA match and all the matches in between at the British Open Pub, Bonita Springs, at the shops of Pelican Landing, where the World Cup comes alive.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Enzo, I did not compare Qatar to an in-game call. I made the point that FIFA is a very corrupt organization and said that Qatar got a World Cup. You're picking words out of what I said and combining them. And it's not the in-game call part that I have a problem with. It's reversing it at the 11th hour. I think it's corrupt. They've not done this for anybody else that got a red card. Here's the UEFA statement on this. This is a doozy. Just seeing this on X. I mean, it's 4 paragraphs, so I'll try to go. Oh, yeah, it is, Michael. Yesterday's decision to suspend the probationing period for 1 year for the implementation of a one-match automatic suspension following a red card issued to the player Florian Balogun crossed a red line. Football, unlike other sports, relies on rules, which is the basis for fair, honest, and transparent competition. Sometimes rules are open for interpretation. In this case, not. Goes on, blah, 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 at the end. We express our disbelief at such an unprecedented, incomprehensible, and unjustifiable decision. That's the European Soccer Federation. I mean, obviously, it's a European country. That's a good one. We are favored on Hard Rock for what it's worth. Well, yeah, we are favored on Hard Rock. We're plus 150, they're plus 180 for what it's worth.
Well, and I think Happy Joy, the European team that we last defeated, was also Bosnia-Herzegovina. So I don't think we've beaten a European team that isn't Bosnia in like a really long time. Michael, that's just figure skating. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I'm looking at the odds on the game, Happy Joy. I don't know what to tell you. If I were betting the game right now, the U.S. team is less money than the Belgium team. I don't know what you're finding. Hard Rock app's the only thing I got, and I'm looking at the game.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
22 minutes to the top of the hour. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com. Miller_Moulton on X. So we don't do this very often, but Mark, can I ask you to redo what you did during the commercial break there when you read? It's a 4-paragraph statement that apparently is it UEFA?
Yes.
UEFA
made a official statement on the Balogun case.
Right. No.
I won't go through the whole thing because I don't want to bore people. But yesterday's decision to suspend the probationary period of a year for the implementation of a one-match automatic suspension following the red card crossed a red line. Football, like any other sports, relies on rules, which are the basis for fair, honest, and transparent competition. Sometimes rules are open to interpretation. In this case, not. A minimum automatic suspension of one match following a red card is not a discretionary option and does not require the decision of a competent body to be enacted. It is a principle embedded in regulations which cannot be made subject to exceptions, let alone in the middle of the tournament where several other players have been in the same situation and regularly served their suspension. When the certainty of rules is no longer guaranteed by its guardians, the integrity of the game is at stake, and the credibility of competition is undermined. They finished by saying, "We express our disbelief at such an unprecedented, incomprehensible, and unjustifiable decision."
Wow, this goes way beyond disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, I threw a party at my grandmother's condo when I was in high school, and she was almost thrown out of her own condo. I didn't get it this bad.
I was going to say, she wasn't
No, I just got, I'm disappointed in you, Mark.
right. Man, I'll tell you what, though, if you're going to release a statement, that's how you do it. You don't do the, same old. I was expecting when they last paragraph, that first word would be disappointed. Okay. Instead, it was disbelief. Oh, damn. We're going there, are we?
Exactly.
Now we're talking.
All right. Look, USA. All right. I get it. I'm rooting for the U.S. I would always root for the U.S.
Sure. Of course we are.
Let me just ask a simple question. Would you rather have we won without him, or does it not matter? A win's a win. Like, I know to the U.S. fan it's not tainted, but wouldn't you have rather won tonight without him, or are you just okay that he's back because you think that gives us a better chance to win? 21,000. That to me is the question today, David. Where are you?
Well, I got to admit, I didn't think they were going to win without him. I thought that, I just think that we were going to get slightly exposed tonight. And by us not being able to put as much pressure on teams without him as we did with him, that Belgium would expose our back line. And, I thought we were going to lose tonight. Now, I really think this is a toss-up, which to me is saying something. Belgium's the 9th ranked team in the world. Okay, I mean, come on now. When's the last time this is men's soccer, not women's soccer, not any other Olympic sport. Okay, men's soccer taking on a top 10 team in the world in a match of significance. When's the last time we ever won one of those? 1950? Yeah, right. Seriously. Last time we did we make a movie about it? I mean, this would be a big win. Big win. You sure we're up to this?
And I'm just curious from a soccer standpoint. I don't know very much. I don't. I've never tried to come off like I'm a soccer expert. But the one thing for most of these games we've been exposed on is on the back line, and I don't know how good our goalie is. This team has strikers. This team can put pressure on the U.S. So I'm fascinated, whether he plays or not, what they're going to do when they control the ball. That being Belgium, because they have people who can score. So that will be interesting to me.
So
but it sounds like the majority of you don't care. The USA, we got them back, baby. That's I don't care how we win. I shoot off fireworks at halftime if that's what it takes to get us a win. Don't know why I go to a redneck Southern accent when I do that, but bear with me.
Well, especially talking about the outcome of a World Cup soccer match.
I went SEC football or West Virginia football. Either way.
I didn't realize Tennessee was playing Kentucky later tonight in Seattle. Damn. But wow, can't believe they changed the location. That's usually a pretty big match.
I've had
getting a lot of money.
I don't know what to tell you, David.
I'm like Landon Donovan. Okay. I mean, I'm telling you, most soccer people that I heard, they're like, he shouldn't have gotten a red card. But I did you hear anybody yesterday, okay, with a microphone say they're in favor of what FIFA did?
No.
Seriously. I mean, I didn't. I think
I didn't hear Alexei Lawless. I'm sure he thought it was correct.
I didn't hear him either. I didn't hear that crew talk about the decision. But I'm kind of do I think they righted a wrong? Yes. Do I think they did it in a way that you're not supposed to do? Yes.
Texter, Pelican Roofing of Florida text line. I just want to win because I don't understand how that was a penalty. He accidentally fell on the other guy's foot. It's a part of the sport. How is that a penalty? It's all dumb as blank. I just want to win because I don't understand how that was a penalty. He accidentally fell on the other guy's foot. I got you. I got you. Cut and paste over and over. Okay, I got you.
You know, Enzo says, so righting a wrong is not good. Well, not if you did it by bribing. And I'm sorry, Miller and Moulton don't believe that all of a sudden FIFA got a conscience. Okay. And by the way, as it was pointed out by UEFA, you know, there's been a few other red cards. There's been a few other controversial things here. Have they rescinded anything else that has happened in this tournament?
Do you think the player from England gets to play in the next game?
Right. There it is. And by the way, what's UEFA's take on that? They must have released that statement before they saw him getting a red card.
Right. So that, I mean, it's to say it's odd is a vast understatement.
No, seriously. And yes, it is our narrative. Okay. And we are not joking when we say this. I mean, I've been tongue in cheek for most of the first 90 plus minutes of this show. I am not tongue in cheek about when I heard the news, I went, I'll be damned. We paid someone off. That's exactly what I thought. It's exactly what I thought. Okay. What Mark said earlier, we got a TV contract coming up, baby. Okay. And if he doesn't play, that's less chance that they'll advance. And do you know how much more money it's worth to us if they advance? We could see that quarterfinal number with the U.S. in it. Holy blank. On a Sunday night, no less. So, yeah, yes. Do I think something nefarious went down? Yes. That would be my poll question today. Do you think something nefarious behind the scenes went down in order to get the U.S. player playing tonight? Yeah, I do. I do. They haven't rescinded anything else that's taken place in this tournament. Nothing. And they do it for a U.S. striker? Honestly, the rest of the world is verklempt. Soccer world, that is. Honestly, they're like, did they really just do this? And they did it for the U.S.? I mean, by the way, how about the Belgian coach's line? He's outstanding. Okay. I thought it was April Fool's.
Right.
That's great material right there.
Yeah.
That's slamming them with them not being able to find you a dime. Landon Donovan is uncomfortable with this. Landon Donovan, he was the captain of a U.S. men's national team who up until this World Cup had probably scored the biggest goal in U.S. men's national team history. And he's uncomfortable with this.
That's all we're saying. It's not like I'm rooting for Belgium tonight, okay?
No. And I won't feel any less, by the way, if the U.S. wins. I won't at all. Once the match starts, I'm all in.
No. When the match starts for those 2 hours, David, but if the U.S. is able to pull this off, you won't think tomorrow morning at 6:02 it's a little tainted? That's all. That's all I'm asking you.
In the world of soccer, no. Now, what I'd love is for Balogun to score in regulation, for this match to go all the way to penalty kicks, and for him to score the winning penalty kick. I mean, that's what I really want.
This is something.
Belgium is going to beat him up tonight. Beat him up tonight.
Well, all right, let me ask you this question. At any point tonight, do we get a call?
Oh, yeah.
Because I do think, the one thing, and we got JP Dellacamera coming on next hour. I do want to ask him, because you and I are not high on home court ice advantage anymore. We're not. However, does it mean anything in this sport? What does he think it will mean tonight? I am curious about that.
I thought
I think it can get you a call.
I thought Mexico got calls last night. Apparently, according to all the people who broadcast the match, I'm the only one. Okay, because the Fox people thought it was an exquisitely officiated match.
Well, they were told to say that because we got our player back.
Maybe they were. You know what? Hope somebody didn't leave that little piece of paper lying around the booth, because you're probably right, Mark.
So we'll see. This is a very good soccer nation in Belgium. The fact that right now the odds to bet the U.S. are that they're a slight favorite is simply because I think the Hard Rock app understands that Americans are going to bet on America.
Yep.
I think if we were looking at a European bookmaker, I think the odds would be different. So we had another text, and we pointed it out earlier in the show, but I do think, because the texter said it, we know people are in and out. This basically has a slight precedent. Ronaldo got a red card that would have earned him a 3-game suspension back in November. FIFA let him play and suspended him just 1 game. So I guess there's precedent, but they are they're very arbitrary with this decision.
Okay, here's my thing. For 3 days, for 3 whole days, everyone involved in the world soccer community said Balogun's not going to play. There wasn't one person for the last 3 days who said there was still an appeal process available. Okay, there was still the chance that they could reconsider this. No, that supposedly came and went in the first 48 hours after the controversy. For 3 days, no one in the world soccer community said there was a chance he was going to play. And at 3:00 yesterday, he's playing? Got it.
I don't know about you, David, but when I saw that come across my phone, and I knew about it before you started texting. I saw the notification, and I don't drop what I'm doing to text you guys anymore. I just don't. I looked at it and I went, what? What is going on here? Miller and Moulton, JP Dellacamera, next hour to talk about USA Belgium. Thanks for listening.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
The Cape Coral Police Department is growing, and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000, depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. capecops.com. Be brave, be best. Be Cape. The Floormeisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floormeisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in. 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
No!
This summer, there's only one place to experience the roar of the World Cup at the British Open Pub in Bonita Springs, your World Cup headquarters, where the team is bringing every match live, full sound on every TV across the patio, with daily food and drink specials from the opening match on June 11th through the final on July 19th. Catch the electric atmosphere for every England and USA match and all the matches in between at the British Open Pub, Bonita Springs, at the shops of Pelican Landing, where the World Cup comes alive. If you're a business who targets men, please know there is no better and more economical way to reach your target audience than us at Miller & Moulton. So let us help you make money. You can reach out to Mark at that Mark Miller or me at the David Moulton on X, or text us at 21,000. We have a proven product, a good reputation, and lots of quality segments that we can attach your company's name to. Miller & Moulton, we're like that old pizza box. You've had the rest, now try the best. Miller & Moulton, millerandmoulton.com.
This is Miller and Moulton. You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
JP Dellacamera will join us coming up in about 35 minutes' time. The preeminent U.S. soccer play-by-play voice over the last 35 years. JP Dellacamera to join us on Miller and Moulton coming up a little later this hour. Thanks for being with us. First Monday of July. Hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. And thanks for being with us. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X.
So I had, and you're not in town, or I think you would have been here on the 4th, but our old producer and John, the three of us text a lot. So I sent him a text because he had seen the picture of the dogs and wanted one. And I sent him a text and said, hey, I know, because he had people over on the 4th as well. I said, I know you're going to have to make a Publix run. I literally will bring a dog out to you on Saturday if you make a drive-by. And he's like, wow, thanks. I'm going to take you up on that. Well, he got busy and it never happened. So he texted yesterday. This is how far we've come, and it's really pathetic. But yesterday, he's like, hey, I'm running to Publix. My wife made a loaf of bread for you. Are you home for me to drop it off? Because they were probably going to bring that if they came. And I said, I am. That's great. So John came to the door with a loaf of sourdough bread that his wife baked. And I responded, I didn't have any hot dogs ready because I was actually asleep when he first texted. But I made 2 sliders of the barbecue with sauce. And we exchanged food at the door, and then he went back home.
So
I don't know. I mean, that is it's great. I mean, it was wonderful,
right.
But it's really like borrowing a cup of sugar from the neighbor, for crying out loud.
So that was the drug deal, sourdough bread for sliders.
Yeah, there was a time I used to put a quarter ounce in the mailbox, and they'd leave cash. Now I'm exchanging bread for sliders.
Right. And waking up from your late afternoon nap to do it.
Just finished watching the U.S. Senior Open, David, and I laid down for a little while.
Well, if anything could put you to sleep, it'd be the U.S. Senior Open. Although, congrats to George McNeil, pride of Southwest Florida. Finished 3rd. He's having a terrific rookie year. In fact, I think one of the top 2 players on tour is a rookie, so probably won't win Rookie of the Year, but he's going to have all his status, and which is great because he entered this year literally having to go a tournament at a time. We've said it. Is there any more pressure in sports than playing for your livelihood, which in certain conditions you can in the world of golf? And George McNeil began this year in February literally going tournament to tournament, playing for his livelihood.
And now he qualified for the U.S. Senior Open. He's qualified for the Senior British Open in a couple of weeks. I did laugh, though. They started talking about, one of the announcers started talking about, he's kind of from where I am, Fort Myers. And I'm like, all right, they gave Fort Myers, like you did Southwest Florida. George is from Fort Myers. In fact, George is from North Fort Myers. But that to people down, that, like if you Tampa, St. Pete, wherever you are, Jacksonville, there are certain parts where people want to say, no, you're not getting credit. But the announcers yesterday, and I wondered how many people at the different clubs that George has played at and been an honorary member to were a little honked off, because there's one course down here. There are many courses that are big boy money courses. But there's one that I would say probably has the best reputation. In fact, I wouldn't even say probably best reputation as a great golf course. Calusa Pines is regarded as the best golf course in all of Southwest Florida, including Naples. And that's where it is. I mean, Naples, Fort Myers, all of it. I've never played it. From what I understand, it's fantastic. It's out of my rent district, and I know a couple of people, I believe, friends of friends that are members, but ironically, David, they've never called me to play.
Huh.
Apparently, Stuart Sink's a member there too. I did not know that until the broadcast. But they made the point that there was a few people from Calusa that had made it up to watch Sink and George play. And I'm like, wow, George, a member at Calusa. I thought I knew he had one at Fiddlesticks, and I knew a few other places. And I'm like, the Fiddle crowd in Fort Myers, because they think a lot of Fiddlesticks, and they should. It's beautiful facility, 36 holes, great place. But they don't get one-upped much, if you know what I mean.
Right.
They got passed right by yesterday. And I'm laughing personally watching it going, oh, that honked off a member or two. Because we talked about the golf audience. We know who watches. It's the higher income brackets. Look at the advertisers. So I did get a kick out of it yesterday. But George hit the ball well, just couldn't get the putter rolling. Third place finish. He's made just shy of $1 million this year on the senior tour.
Nice. Congratulations to him, and hope it continues. That's for sure. Very quickly, we've been talking a lot of soccer, and the U.S. tonight against Belgium, and they got their scorer back, their leading scorer, Balogun, reinstated yesterday afternoon. Miller and Moulton think it was, bribe, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. This was not done on the technicality that they're trying to claim, Article 27, which, by the way, we may decide to fully or partially suspend the implementation of a disciplinary measure. I mean, why can't they quote Article 27 for everything then? Article 27 basically says we could do whatever the hell we want when we want. So, but anyway, yeah, Miller and Moulton think that something nefarious went on. We do. Sorry, don't think this is on the up and up. Okay, now we're both rooting for the U.S. Hope they win. I won't feel any, in a totally corrupt sport at the highest level, I won't feel any guilt, asterisk, nothing. No. Mm-mm.
I do love the texters, Dave, that said we're really a soccer nation now. Now that some FIFA corruption has gone our way, we are truly a soccer nation.
That's a great point. And not only that, for probably the first time ever, most of the rest of the world is angry at us for soccer. Okay. They're not holding a grudge against us for other reasons. Okay. And just, putting that on the screen or on the pitch against us. No. Now they are holding something against us that is a soccer reason.
Let me ask you this, David. Look, we all want the U.S. to win. But from a worldwide standpoint, more pressure now? Because if you get Balogun back and lose, then you got the courts to basically change everything to get your guy back. You can't lose now, right?
Well, not in the rest of the world's eyes, no.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
right. You better win now, or otherwise the grief they will give us will be a little harsher than it would have been before this. But,
the built-in excuse is now gone.
Yes. And listen, this is a home match for us against the top 10 team in the world, and we're considered a top 20 team. For the college football person out there, this is what, number 17 hosting number 9? Okay. All right. And it's time for number 17 to win one of these. Mark, you spent time in the 90s in North Carolina. And remember when Mac Brown was there the first time?
Oh, yeah.
And they were trying to say that we have caught up with Florida State. We can go toe-to-toe with Florida State. And there was one year in which they played them really tough, lost by like 7 or 10 points, had a really good year. I think they finished like 9th in the polls. And the next year they were like, now it's our turn. Well, to me, that's what tonight reminds me of. And by the way, Florida State blew out North Carolina the next year when North Carolina was saying this was our turn.
And I think that was in Chapel Hill, and they took turf. That was when, that was their thing back then. They take a little patch of turf and planted in their FSU cemetery. I'm trying to think. Let's have some fun here, David. Let's quit getting into the corruption and all that. Since you brought up college football, who are the United States as an equivalent? Are we Boise? I mean, did we always think we were good and now we have to play with the big boys? I mean, are we SMU post Pony Express? SMU 2.0?
Well, Boise's still not a power program, though, is it?
I know. That's why I mentioned it.
Wow. So you're saying we're still group of 6.
But we're getting our opportunity. Is tonight the Statue of Liberty play? That's what I'm saying.
Well, but the thing is, see, like, if this were an apples to apples comparison, like, I believe if we're Boise and we win tonight, we would then become a Power 4 program, not in reputation, but literally one of like what the Big 12 did to TCU. They eventually said, fine, we want you. Okay. I guess that's what tonight is.
Are we UCF? We got invited to the Big 12, but we've never really done anything yet.
Well, no, because, we're talking about winning tonight.
No, I know. But we haven't won tonight. If we lose tonight, are we just UCF? We got invited to a big conference, and when push comes to shove, we haven't won anything. I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I'm trying to make a fair college football comp.
See, the Boise State comparison sounds much more complimentary.
I know.
The UCF,
I know,
does not sound very complimentary, even though they had that 2-year run, 6-7 years ago.
Right, but that's like winning the MLS, if you know what I mean. That's winning CONCACAF. It doesn't really count.
Come on now, we beat Mexico, all right?
Right.
In San Diego, I mean, come on now.
Exactly. And what have they won? Like saying, Mississippi State. That's not fair. We're not that bad. But I mean, is this our Dak Prescott year?
No, they got the number 1 in the country for like 6 weeks. No, we ain't Mississippi State. No, you're onto it. You really are. Pick which one you want, Boise or UCF. You're onto it.
The college football comp of USA Soccer, Miller and Moulton.
The Cape Coral Police Department is growing, and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000, depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. Capecops.com. Be brave, be best. Be Cape.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Floormeisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floormeisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Enzo, we're not a huge underdog. The game's a virtual pick 'em. Some places the U.S. is a slight favorite. Some places Belgium's a slight favorite. And
if this is hating on Team USA, then I'm guilty. TW, you're not the only one. That Americans have trouble with the extra time. I got you. I got you.
it's 10 minutes. Well, it could be more. There's delays during the 10 minutes. Well, how much extra time are you going to give them? Like 30 seconds, 40 seconds? Could give them 2 extra minutes.
Rutgers is not far off.
Yeah, I like that, actually.
Rutgers. I mean,
I like that, actually.
I think that's terribly mean, but I think it's incredibly accurate.
As a Rutgers fan, I'm fine with.
Is England Nebraska?
They've been better than Nebraska, though, lately.
I got you, but not much. But yes, they've been better. Is England USC? I mean, they're not Notre Dame. They're close, but I'd say Notre Dame's been better. Notre Dame's got to the final game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Brian Kelly, played for the Natty and made 2 playoffs. And then obviously 2 years ago, they played for it. So I think Missouri, talking about USA, Missouri made 2 SEC title games. We ain't never done anything like that on a big stage. Ooh, Oklahoma's interesting.
I don't think we're that good.
I don't mean us. I think he's saying England.
Oh, England, Oklahoma? I don't know if they're... That's close. That might be right. Texas. It's really a shot at Texas. Ooh, I like Penn State. That's not bad either.
I couldn't believe when they gave the guy from England last night the red card. And if you knew the history of England soccer and you're like, oh my God, this is the Beckham red card and the Rooney red card all over again. And then it's at Azteca, which is where Maradona had the hand of God goal. Oh my God. Do you think USA Soccer is as good as A&M?
See, I don't.
Tell you what, we need Pulisic to be Johnny Manziel. Okay, give me a Johnny Manziel moment tonight. I'd love that, including Pulisic scoring a goal and going like this afterwards. I'd eat it up.
I think Mexico's more A&M than we are. But they don't have the most resources. But I see what you're saying with the resources, TYP. I get it.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Thanks so much for being with us on this first Monday in July. Hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. Don't know if you still have leftovers or not. You know, you had that extra day to polish off the leftovers. So hope everything went well. You cleaned everything up. Everybody's safe. JP Dellacamera, who hasn't been on the show in quite a while, and that's our fault. The preeminent play-by-play man of USA Soccer for the last 35 years is going to join us in a touch more than 15 minutes to talk about everything that we can during the time that we have with JP Dellacamera, about 15 minutes from now.
So my little question towards the end of that segment got our audience coming up with a lot of answers. Who is the college football equivalent of Team USA Soccer? I started with Boise, and then I went UCF because we're now with the big boys, but we haven't really done anything yet. This isn't CONCACAF. This is the World Cup. Beating Mexico's not enough anymore. Some people said Rutgers. That's harsh.
I like that.
Really
And I'm
harsh.
a Jersey guy. I'm a Rutgers fan. I actually like that comparison.
But then I went to, during the break, who's England? And, Oklahoma. I started with Nebraska. You said Nebraska has not been as good as England lately.
No, England's knocking on doors. Okay. They are. They're semis, quarters. I mean, they've been right there in the Euros. I mean, they've been there for a long time.
But I think, some people said Oklahoma. I'm going to go with Texas here.
Ooh,
And here's
wow.
why. Because English soccer fan thinks a lot of themselves. They think they're the best despite not being the best. Texas is kind of the same way. Now, that could all change for the Longhorns this year, but Texas thinks they're the best. And they haven't played really in the last game. Not since
Vince.
Right?
Well, no, actually, 4 years later, Colt McCoy against Alabama, and he got hurt. So it's been 17 years since they played for the title.
But you take it every year. It's been since 60. Right. I mean, I think England's been in one since then. But you know what I like? I think that's a reasonably good comp.
Well, then Harry Kane then is Vince Young. That's what I have to say, because I picked England to win it all. So Harry Kane. Listen, this doesn't get talked about enough. This is a very American, I think, subject. But how about the decision that a soccer coach has to make late in a 1-goal match in which, you're hanging on for dear life and your best goal scorer is a defensive liability, although Kane's not a huge liability. Okay, but there are others who are. Okay, and you've got to decide, do I take him out? And if I do and they score, I don't have him for extra time. I don't have him for PKs.
Well, and that's what they did. That's what Portugal had to do because they took Ronaldo out in
like
that
the 80th
game.
minute, right?
And then it looked for a moment like that it could end up going to extra time and penalties. Right. You're like, what's going to happen? No, it is a monster coaching decision. And I don't know if it normally is, but I know they put the graphic up during one of the games over the weekend. We've had like 26 goals scored in extra time. This is unprecedented. Now, there's more extra time than ever before because of the water break. I'll never call it a hydration break. It's a water break. Mom comes out with the slices of orange and everybody gets a couple of minutes.
Right. Well, that's their master's thing, patrons instead of, fans.
Yes.
Right. It's not a water break. It's a hydration break. Okay. All right. Fine.
We've had more late goals in this tournament. Now, I know there's been more games because we added the extra round and there's more teams. So there's more games in group. But I mean, we have had so many late goals that's part of the reason that this tournament has been so special. I will say, when I watch Norway play, I'll root for England because of my friends at the British Open pub. I will. But this Holland guy,
Ah, is he fun?
he's not only fun, he's one of the few players in this sport that I've ever seen that when I look at him, I go, fullback, middle linebacker. I mean, come on.
I think he could go out there, put on a Pirates uniform. If he could, grow Skeens' mustache, I could also see him out there mowing 12 guys down over 7.
Well, yeah, playing first base and batting fourth back in the day, if you know what I mean.
Totally.
Right. You like to bring up old basketball players. I mean, is he Rick Mahorn? I mean, he's 6'5" for crying out loud. He's a big man.
He's got just an awesome smile. Is seemingly in a good mood the whole time. Okay. I don't know. He said after the match last night, he goes, "We're Norway. There's no pressure on us." He goes, "We're going to row after the match, win or lose." He goes, "Now Brazil," he goes, "that's pressure." He goes, "What are there, 5 million Norwegians? Okay. How many for Brazil and South America?" And he goes, "Nah, there's no pressure on us." He goes, "Goodness sakes." He said, 4 years ago, we weren't even in this thing. He said, hell, like a couple years ago, we didn't even qualify for Euros. He goes, "This ain't pressure."
And he's fun. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, I love it.
and because he just doesn't look like the normal soccer player. Yeah, there's been tall guys that have played. There are tall guys that play, but he's wide and he runs hard and he looks like he can just run through you. It's very different to me.
He reminds me, sorry, Mark, of a baseball player in this sense. To me, he's obviously the 3-hole hitter. Nowadays, I guess they put him in the 2-hole, but whatever. He's the slugger. But I love how the soccer folks have educated people like you and I about him and said, listen, he can go a half an hour and not touch the ball. Okay. Don't pay any attention to that. Okay. Because he can go an hour and not touch the ball for any significance. He goes, and then when he touches it, he can score. Boom. Just like that. He goes, not a lot of other goal scorers are like that. They got to have, the ball a little bit. They got to have a feel for it. I mean, to me, he's like the Aaron Judge who could, play the 14-inning baseball game and be 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts. And then, boom, just get up there and win the game.
But he's so damn big that obviously he can score with his feet. But if there's a corner kick, that's a 6'5" guy getting up there. He can do things that other guys cannot. So it's just in the whole rowing thing that they're fun.
They're awesome. I had to show my wife yesterday. I said, "Come here." Okay. She goes, "What?" I go, "I got to show you the row." She goes, "What?" I go, fine. Don't watch any more of the World Cup. If you can just give me these 3 to 5 minutes, I got to show you this." And afterwards, she's like, "Oh, I can root for them every match." I'm like, "You're damn right you can."
I would have liked to see them come from behind, though, because with Brazil having to come from behind and they scored late, so they couldn't get excited about it, there was no dancing.
No.
They were
already crying, in fact.
Well, I mean, that's where American television, and they do it for World Cup always, that's where the crowd shots are great. Because when they're showing the Brazil fans during the game, they just looked miserable. Every one of them. The prettiest woman in the crowd, and she's like, "You've got to be kidding me. How are we not winning? We're playing Norway, for crying out loud."
And we're sitting back and letting them take it to us for 2 hours. What happened to us? Yeah, but Holland. God, the stars in this tournament, and they're all playing like stars.
Yes, they are.
Mbappe, Messi, Holland, all with 7. Harry Kane with 6. It's awesome.
JP Dellacamera coming up next to talk USA Belgium, Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com.
The Cape Coral Police Department is growing, and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000, depending on your experience. And With a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. capecops.com. Be brave, be best, be Cape.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Floormeisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floormeisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in. 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Good morning, JP. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. How are you guys?
We got you perfectly. We're great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good today. It's just raining here. It's miserable, but otherwise good.
Where are you?
Stayed up late. I'm in Connecticut. Stayed up late to watch Mexico, England. And then I couldn't fall asleep because that game had a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
it did.
Huh. Huh.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know how
wanted
you
it. I
guys
really
do
wish
it.
it would have started
Morning.
on time. I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it on a morning show if you have to watch something late, you know?
It's hard.
Yeah.
I yesterday I made sure I got a little nap midday because I knew I needed to watch that game.
Good call.
And there wasn't much, fortunately, there wasn't much else going on in the sports world because we even, baseball, we have kind of more of a national regional approach because of where we are. Everybody's from somewhere else and we're on in a handful of markets. So, baseball just doesn't get people excited until we get to October.
I get that.
Your
That's just a commercial, JP. We're testing.
Yeah, that
Don't
was-
worry.
No, that was me.
You look good. You sound good. JP, do you have any more in this World Cup?
No, I'm done. I finished Thursday in Vancouver, getting the days and nights mixed up. I do a lot of NWSL, so I'm back on that this weekend in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
How are the crowds for that league?
Average is I want to say I just saw something 10 or 11,000. Some
Oh,
markets,
okay. That's pretty good.
yeah, but some markets draw really well. Like Portland gets close to 20. in their market. They're amazing. Washington gets 15. Some areas of concern probably where crowds are not as big, but overall, the league is healthy.
Well, Portland Stadium's in a great spot. People
Yeah, it is.
seem to really. I have a friend that lives out there, so I've been there. It's that's a great little area that they've done.
Smack downtown. Yep.
Yep.
You drive by the fairly new Kansas City Stadium when you're heading into downtown from the airport.
The new, you mean the smaller soccer stadium that they
Yeah.
built? I mean, yeah, I haven't been to that one, but that's supposed to be, they're going to expand it now too. Because they fill it up. They sell it out all the time. That's 11.5. Kansas City's a great soccer market.
Has been for a long time, right?
Yeah. I had three games in Kansas City. All sold out. Amazing crowds.
Were you in the football booth, low, midfield?
Um,
Okay. The Len Dawson booth?
Yeah. First, they put us in the Kansas City Chiefs radio booth where
Damn.
you couldn't see.
Oh, it sucks.
The glass doesn't come out. So we asked to be moved down in the open,
Right.
and we got dumped on by rain. So
Here
the most challenging game I've had to do, like everything was getting wet. Papers were getting wet.
Right.
Like you're just in there.
we go.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. JP Dellacamera, kind enough to join us. It's been way too long. That's our fault. No one has called more U.S. soccer matches, men and women, at the highest level than JP Dellacamera, the preeminent play-by-play voice of U.S. soccer for the last 35 years. He's been calling this World Cup for Fox. JP, it's David and Mark. Thanks for doing this. How you been?
My pleasure. It's great to be home. I want to say 8 games in the group stage and then 2 in the round of 32. Traveled everywhere and for the most part based East Coast and Midwest. And then for our last 2 games, Seattle and then Vancouver. So got to see the country.
Outstanding. Just quickly before we get into the things that have happened with USA, I have talked about this a few times on the air. I'm just curious because you did travel, and it certainly seemed to us from afar, be it social media or wherever the case may be, the U.S. gets a bad rap internationally about a lot of things. It certainly seems that the European fan, the South American fan, the Australia fan, the Japanese fans, they've had a hell of a time here, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. The benefit of traveling to as many places as I went to, I got to watch a lot of the local news. So in Kansas City, they were showing everything from the Dutch or the Ecuadorian fans marching in their colors, right? So Kansas City one day was a sea of yellow for Ecuador. Another day was a sea of orange for Netherlands. And before that, Argentina played. And as crazy as I thought it was with the Ecuador fans, when I was there for, I think it was our second game in Kansas City, security told me that it was nothing compared to what Argentina brought. And, seeing local coverage in Kansas City, Seattle, and other markets, I saw the stories that you're talking about. And it seemed like overall, as a general statement, that tourists, travelers, soccer supporters coming to this country had a great time. And the stories that we heard about high ticket prices and high hotels and empty seats, I didn't see empty seats in the games that I had. I don't know if you guys did. I'm sure there were some, but it's wildly successful. They were posting up numbers on the stadium jumbotrons, and there were sellouts where I was.
All right. All your years in soccer. Now, there's been some corruption in the sport. Some things that have raised eyebrows in the past. When you found out yesterday afternoon that Balogun now is eligible to play, what was your reaction?
I got it on a text. I was not online yesterday morning, just having come back from Vancouver in a red eye. So I was not really online. I got the text and I thought, wow, that's stunning. Because when this happened, we were in a car driving from Seattle to Vancouver, and we had the game on in the car. And none of us in the car, there were three of us, thought that that's a deserved red card to Balogun. Immediately I looked up because I thought, well, you must be able to appeal, if it's wrong. And I read there's no appeal. So I just put it to bed, put it to rest. And I thought, well, he's done for one game. I was glad that it wasn't more than one game because I still think it was harsh. And then when I, read it, I became aware of this Article 27.
Right.
Suspending his ban really means that they could suspend him again later if he does something else. But in effect, he can play, right? But what the code doesn't say are the circumstances in which they decide to do this. FIFA and soccer have always been a gray area sport. They say enough in their rules, which they call laws of the game, and then a lot of it is vague, right? So my questions would be, what made them change their mind? What is the process? Is this the first time that's ever happened? At this World Cup it is, I would say. Has it happened in other World Cups? They won't answer that. So I think we're left with more questions, I would say, than answers. But I think the result is fair. I don't think in any way, shape, or form that was a red card. And that seems to be the general consensus. Now we'll have to listen to people say that the U.S. was given a favor, there was special treatment and all that stuff. And none of it is probably ever going to be able to be proven. But that was a big story. I'm sure it surprised. I know it surprised everybody.
I guess, let me ask you, because I know you watched England and Mexico last night. I thought that red card, and a couple soccer people that know the game better than me thought that was a justified red card. I thought he got the ball, then hit him. I'm like, wow, that seemed like a lot to me. So first off, did you think that was worthy of a red card? And now at this point in the tournament, isn't everybody with the controversial red card going to want the thing turned over?
Your second point is very valid, and that's what I think is going to happen with every decision, that now happens, and especially when you don't say the circumstances on how and why it's decided. But I thought it was a straight red, 100%. Studs
Okay.
are up. Could have really hurt the guy. Lots of times with red cards, it's not intentional. You know what I mean? And you're not supposed to read intent, but adrenaline is flowing, right? You're into the game. Your mindset is to win the ball, and you're late, and when you're late on a tackle, or early on a tackle for that matter, when the timing is not right, something bad generally happens. And so, yeah, that's a red card for me.
Okay.
I haven't read enough. I went to bed after that, tried to go to sleep, but I was so wired from watching the game. But I haven't seen what the consensus is. But I don't believe England will feel hard done. But I do believe, even though there's no appeal, I do believe you'll hear whispers that, they're going to ask. Somebody's going to ask.
You haven't missed many World Cups in the last 35 years. Have you ever seen one that has produced everything that this one has produced so far? The stars are all seemingly performing. Many of the big boys are still having success, yet Norway, Cape Verde, other stories. I mean, I don't know, all the controversy of red cards and penalties and PKs and coaching decisions. I mean, this seems honestly like this was a script that was submitted and Hollywood said, I don't know, you might be throwing a little too much in there.
Yeah. I was not a fan, guys, of 48 teams. I think it's too many. Having said that, how do you argue with what Cape Verde did? That would have been the biggest upset in the history of the World Cup. Not even my opinion. That would be factual. If they had beaten Argentina, there's no comparison to those teams. And yet Cape Verde went toe to toe. So there've been some great stories. the fans that we have gotten to see, like Norway rowing their boats and some of the other things that we've seen, has been spectacular. We don't see that, in this country. If you go to an MLS game, any other soccer game for that matter, you don't see, excuse me, some of the things that you're seeing from the supporters from these other countries. Parades like they had by the thousands in Kansas City and in other places. So when I first thought about 48 teams, I thought it was too much. Then I heard somebody on Fox, I think it was Tom Brady, throw out there, this might be the greatest World Cup ever. And I thought, is that right? And I started to think about it, and I think it is. He doesn't have World Cup experience, but he knows great games, I would say, from all of his Super Bowls. And I think he's right, because what I think about all these World Cups, there's always a star, there's always a story, but I can't think of a World Cup. And I think if you go back and look, where you've got Messi, you've got Mbappe, you've got Haaland, you've got Kane, those four right there, 3 of them have 7 goals, 1 has 6. 2 players have already broken the goal scoring record career-wise for World Cups. That's Messi and Mbappe. Mbappe's got 17 World Cup goals, or 18, I'm sorry, in 17 games. That's unheard of. Messi doesn't even have that. Messi's played more games. And Haaland, the last time I looked, had scored more goals than he had played games. The ratio for international soccer, if you score 1 goal every 2 games, that's really good. As a striker, as a goal scorer, 1 in every 2. So if you've played 20 games, you have 10 goals, that's good. Haaland is beyond that. He's scored more goals than games he's played in. So that tells you many games, multiple games. There was a stretch there where he had scored, I want to say it was 12 or 13 straight games, and that still might be ongoing. I'm not sure he's missed, but I've never seen a World Cup where there were so many great stars all performing at the highest of levels, one outdoing the other. And then great stories like Cape Verde and the goalkeeper, Vozinha, and, the way some of the African nations like Morocco have played. That Morocco-France game, I picked France to win it, but that's going to be, I think, a tough game, especially based on Paraguay and the physical toll that maybe they took on France. But I'll still stay with France as my pick.
I'm glad you went to the physical toll, because Belgium and Senegal played an extra time game. Belgium was very stressed late, ended up winning a game that I don't know if they should have won, but they did. And they've not been at their best this tournament, but this is still an elite soccer nation. So when you look at tonight's game with the U.S. and Belgium, the first thing I would ask is, how is Belgium going to be physically after a game with Senegal that went deep into that game and they played a few more minutes? Will that affect them at all?
That's a good question. They got to stay in Seattle, so that's a plus for them. Traveling can take its toll even on charters, and especially when you're playing. This World Cup has been different because you've had 4 or 5 days in between games compared to some of the previous World Cups, and that's because more teams, more games, etc. But I did that Belgium-Senegal game, and I've said to people that Senegal was the better team for 85 minutes and lost the game. And that's why when you hear got to play 90 minutes, it sounds like it's a cliche, but it's not. Senegal had 5 bad minutes and they lost. To me, you could make the case that Belgium is a better team. I don't go by FIFA rankings, but FIFA has them higher than the U.S. You could make the case that Belgium is a better team, has more experience than the U.S., but I would argue that in this World Cup, the USA has been much better than Belgium has been, much better. I think in the Belgium game, the physical toll, we'll find out, I guess, tonight, right? Because they took De Bruyne out of that game early, and it might be because he's already on an injury, or they were fearful that something worse could happen. Lukaku came in as a sub. If he was 90 minutes fit, he's starting. They got nothing out of that number 9 position before that. The game changed for me for Belgium when they made all their subs. Lukaku made a difference. Luka Bacchio, Moreira, Raskin, Meunier. I think some of those guys start tonight. I'd be looking at Moreira if I were them. His speed on the flank caused problems for Senegal. His energy was amazing. They may like him better off the bench, but I wouldn't be surprised if Belgium makes a couple of changes from that game. But if the U.S. plays the way they have been playing, they have a great shot at going to the quarterfinals.
JP, we got less than 2 minutes. How big would tonight be for U.S. soccer if the men could beat a top 10 regarded European nation in the World Cup?
That would be big on its own. I think the bigger story is Canada lost on the weekend. Mexico lost last night. We're the only of the three co-hosts or tri-hosts that are remaining in this. And to get to a quarterfinal would be big, regardless of who you play. But if you knock out Belgium, who have beaten you in the past, and they are really a top 10 team, if you want to go in that direction, I think it's big. And our fans recognize names like Lukaku and De Bruyne, and this would be big. But the bigger story would be advancing to a quarterfinal when anything can happen. Now you're one win away from a semifinal, and then people start to dream even bigger.
JP Dellacamera, okay, the preeminent play-by-play voice of soccer in this country for 2 generations, just got done calling his last World Cup match for Fox. He'll jump over to the NWSL on the weekend. JP, safe travels. Thanks for doing this, and we wish you the best, and I promise we will be calling much sooner next time.
My pleasure, guys. Looking forward to watching the USA-Belgium tonight on Fox.
JP Dellacamera, kind enough to join us once again here on Miller and Moulton. When I booked him, and he said, he's going through our phone numbers and what have you, he says, it's been over 10 years. And I said, well, if it makes you feel any better, we've been fired 3 times since then. Okay. And he laughed. At first, I thought he was going to give us grief, kind of like, oh, sure, call me once every 10, 12 years. And I'm like, well, just so you know, we've been through 4 producers and been fired 3 times. And he goes, well, great to hear from you then.
That's funny. That's funny. But I love the point that he made there that, yeah, Belgium's the better soccer nation, if you will. In this tournament, if we're just talking about the games that have been played, Team USA's played better than Belgium. Will they tonight? Miller and Moulton.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
The Cape Coral Police Department is growing, and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000, depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. Capecops.com. Be brave, be best. Be Cape.
Go!
This summer, there's only one place to experience the roar of the World Cup at the British Open Pub in Bonita Springs, your World Cup headquarters, where the team is bringing every match live, full sound on every TV across the patio with daily food and drink specials from the opening match on June 11th through the final on July 19th. Catch the electric atmosphere for every England and USA match and all the matches in between at the British Open Pub, Bonita Springs, at the shops of Pelican Landing, where the World Cup comes alive.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Meisters just doesn't sell Core-Tech and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floormeisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floormeisters, just keeping it real. If you're a business who targets men, please know there is no better and more economical way to reach your target audience than us at Miller & Moulton. So let us help you make money. You can reach out to Mark at that Mark Miller or me at the David Moulton on X, or text us at 21,000. We have a proven product, a good reputation, and lots of quality segments that we can attach your company's name to. Miller & Moulton, we're like that old pizza box. You've had the rest. Now try the best. Miller & Moulton, millerandmoulton.com.
This is Miller and Moulton.
The picture,
Mm-hmm.
and look closely at the card he's holding.
Funny. I will say saw a picture of that flagpole in Cape Coral from the air, because they built a 250 tall foot flagpole as you go over one of the bridges into Cape Coral. It's pretty cool from the sky. Got to be honest with you. If you're flying into RSW, I saw someone took a photo and put it on social media. I'm like, that all right. It's a little over the top for me, but
Obviously, I haven't seen it. I'll look forward to seeing it.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is the final hour of Miller and Moulton on this first Monday of July. Hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. Thanks for starting your week off with us. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. We think a good fun show so far today with 1 hour to go. Just little nuts and bolts soccer with JP Dellacamera, box play-by-play. He did Belgium's last match, the win over Senegal, on the final seconds of regulation, I guess, before they would have gone to penalties with the controversial, penalty in the box in the final minute of overtime. And they scored on the penalty, and they won, and they advanced, and they'll face the U.S. And Mark, I think your observation, which is also JP's, is right. So far, Belgium is regarded as the better team than the U.S. The U.S. has played better in this tournament than Belgium.
Belgium had one game where they lit up their opponent. Other than that, they had one win and 2 draws in group.
Yeah.
And they played spectacularly for 5 minutes.
Right. Yep. And I mean, seriously, 85th minute, it's 2-0 Senegal. And I'm watching the match, and Senegal's in total control. And all of a sudden, they kind of sort of misplay a ball in their own end, and it ends up in the back of the net. And it's 2-1. And then 3 minutes later, it's 2-2. And now, obviously, things have changed. But so Belgium fortunate to survive. We had our own issues the last match with the red card, which doesn't count if it's a red card against the United States.
Got that right.
It only counts if it's a red card against anybody else. I love everything about this story because I do think it's righting a wrong, but I do think that this is total corruption at work. I really do. I mean, JP, who has spent his life broadcasting soccer at the highest level, said, quote, "I was very surprised," unquote. Didn't think there was any way that this could be done. Okay. And those of us are still, first off, they haven't changed any other call in this tournament beforehand. And we're trying to remember when they've done this in the past in World Cups. And yes, they did it for Ronaldo's benefit in November in qualifying. He got a red card, which could have made him ineligible for an early game or two in this World Cup. And they kind of gave him the double secret probation as well.
Who knows? They might have been better without him. They play Spain at 3.
Right.
Spain minus 115, Portugal plus 320. The U.S. plus 150, Belgium is at 175. We are slight favorites. Now, I think that's the U.S. betting market and bookmakers knowing more people will bet on the U.S. But this is basically a pick 'em. I mean, that's the way it is. So these two winners will play one another. If we are able to beat Belgium, more than likely we will play Spain, one of the superpowers in this game. France is the superpower. Spain's number 2.
And Argentina's in the world rankings. Argentina 1, Spain 2, France 3, I think, in the world rankings.
Okay. The tournament odds heading in, France was the favorite. Spain was the second favorite.
Right. In betting. But I'm just saying the FIFA rankings, the 1, 2, 3, I believe the FIFA rankings were Argentina, Spain, France. But yes, the betting favorite, France has been the favorite throughout.
And then tomorrow we finish off the round of 16 with Argentina and Egypt and Switzerland and Colombia. I mean, we've got Spain and Portugal today. We could have a quarterfinal match between Argentina and Colombia.
Right.
Just saying. This tournament has delivered.
So we got Messi tomorrow, no matter what happens today and tonight. And then the quarterfinals, I think, start. Is there a day off? I don't think there is. I think we go right into quarters, don't we?
Not until July the 9th. So 1 day off.
Oh, okay. So Wednesday, we got to
Wednesday, we got nothing.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then we play one on Thursday, one on Friday, a pair on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So that's how this will work out. Norway and England will be in Miami on Saturday, 5 p.m. Tickets are pricey.
Okay. Miami was where the national championship game was, Indiana and Miami. Pricier than the title game?
I don't remember what it took to get into the title game, but I know it was expensive. I want to say it was, I would say similar, because right now the cheapest ticket as of last night was a little more than $3,000. You want to sit lower bowl, while I do see some corner lower bowl seats for under $5,000, just barely. If you want to sit between the lines, you're talking over $9,000 right now for Norway and England.
Indiana, Miami, upper deck corners, end zone, 3,200 by kickoff. And I guess, in between the 40s, if you will, down low, $20,000.
So those are more expensive right now, far more expensive. And you can get upstairs for, right around $4,000 right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
I'll take 2.
Right. Can I get parking with that, please? Or how much extra is that? Miller
England moves on. They beat Mexico last night. I was laughing. My kid was he was rooting hard for Mexico. Did not want England to win at all.
What's his thing with England?
They're England?
Oh, so this is a 250-year-old thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to know what was the thing.
What it was.
Right. I mean, my mother's thing with England goes back even further than that, So, okay, that's fine. And trust me, there are legitimate reasons. I was just curious as to which one he was hanging his hat on. That's all.
He was rooting hard for Mexico. I didn't see that coming. And I was torn because obviously Mexico being one of the hosts of the tournament, the scene there if they would have won, it would have just been off the chain with the celebration. It just would have been nuts. And because I have some English friends and the British Open pub's a sponsor, had a soft spot for the English.
Right.
Even thought about going down last night for the game. But then I would have to leave the daughter, and she'd have been really pissed because she was pretty fired up about seeing her brother. So we were hanging as a family last night. Just a family together watching the World Cup. That's a phrase I never thought I'd say in my life.
And that's Fox and FIFA both going cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
And I get there's been a few of you that say I'm not watching at all. And for you, the fact that you're staying with us to tell us you're not watching and still listening as much as we've talked about this tournament, thank you. I really appreciate it. But I get it. But I would say, look at, and I don't know what the other national shows will talk about. I've got no idea if they're going to figure out where LeBron's going to play, what NBA story they're going to focus on, because there's not an NFL story to talk about right now. I'm not talking about Travis's wedding, for the love of God. I don't care. From a baseball standpoint, Do you really care about snubs from the All-Star game anymore? I don't. No, but I'm being serious. Like, I don't know. Without this tournament, we'd find something. We always do. Without this tournament, this July would have been, woo, where's Sandy Alcantara going to get traded to? Can the Tigers get enough for Skubal? I mean, like, I was just looking through a list of guys that could be traded. And when I see Buxton on there from the Twins as the number 2 guy, knowing that there's no chance of him being moved. Oh, by the way, he got hurt last night. There's something unusual.
Hold on a second. Byron Buxton got hurt?
Yes, I think sliding maybe was that. I believe he hurt himself sliding last night.
They're almost back to the Mendoza line, you know.
I know.
Them and the Astros both.
Astros are a game back of the wild card, by the way.
I know. Those two franchises, we're not allowed to talk about teams below 500, but they're trying to get there by the All-Star break.
Yeah, I mean, the Astros are a game behind the Rangers. The Twins are a game and a half behind the Rangers. The Rangers are at 500. That's the last wild card.
Think about that.
Good
The Red Sox are what, 8-9 games below 500? They're only like 4.5 out of the wild card. The Tigers are what, 10 below 500, and they're 5 out. I mean, how? If you're a GM, how could you not think you're in?
And at the same time, the Tigers don't just have Skubal that could get dealt. Mize is in the last year of his deal. They have 2. What you think of as quality starters, David, that are up against contracts, and you should move them 10 games below 500.
Yes, you should. But then again, if they snuck into the playoffs, think about their first round. They'd go Skubal, who's Valdez, and Mize. I mean, that's who you'd have to face.
And David, what's happened the last 2 years in the AL Central?
Well, if you've been 10 to 15 games out of first in mid-August, you win the division.
Right. Cleveland came back in a way we've never seen. The Tigers did similar things the year before.
Right.
So if you're a GM right now, you're looking around going, we're trading guys. Why? So I will say, I am fascinated from a baseball standpoint, from a GM standpoint, the thing you like way more than me.
Right.
This is a fascinating month for baseball general managers, because when we talk about the American League, that's one thing, but even in the NL, the Padres are 4 back, David. They've got to pass 4 other teams just to get to the last wild card spot.
However, if you're Arizona, San Diego, and a couple of others, you're sitting there going, so all we have to catch are the Marlins/Cardinals?
Right.
They're holding down the 6th seed? Really?
No!
This summer, there's only one place to experience the roar of the World Cup, at the British Open Pub in Bonita Springs, your World Cup headquarters, where the team is bringing every match live, full sound on every TV across the patio, with daily food and drink specials from the opening match on June 11th through the final on July 19th. Catch the electric atmosphere for every England and USA match and all the matches in between at the British Open Pub, Bonita Springs, at the shops of Pelican Landing, where the World Cup comes
Mark
alive.
Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and
The
sound.
Floormeisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floormeisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floormeisters, just keeping it real.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
This is Miller and Moulton.
One, do I cut up the sausage and I gotta warm it up?
No.
And two, how many eggs does Jacob want?
Why don't you do 5? 2 for me, 2 for Jacob, 1 for you. That's right. Ordering breakfast on the show. It's the way life should go. I don't know how, I might homeschool her now just for that. Sonny, I don't know if you're jumping on what we just said, but I almost wonder if you just missed the segment we did. Because we literally talked about Scooble and Mize are both up for contract. So I don't know if you're just reiterating what we just talked about, because we literally just discussed that. So I get confused. You get upset when I do this. So I don't know whether or not I should. I mean, we know and just talked about it. And guess what? We're going to talk about the Rays when we come back, because this is a monster week for the Rays.
Whoa.
And that was to let my co-host know what I wanted to talk about next. Paula, I don't know if I were in France, if I would go see the Tour de France. Like, seriously, I that might be, of all of the sporting events that people go to, I mean, I get if you live in New York and you're in an apartment that the marathon runs by. You might have a party to watch the runners go by. But you stand there on a hill and the bikes go by, and then they're gone. That was it. Yeah, Red Dog, we did mention that earlier. Both the Pirates and the Nats are over 500. That's something, man.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Good, bad, and ugly. What's on tap? Today was the day when? Final thoughts. Pick or two on the World Cup action going on today and tonight. All coming up here on Miller and Moulton.
So we talked a little baseball there, and we began the show talking baseball because Perez there for the Marlins threw 92 pitches through 7, had a perfect game going, and they pulled him.
And everybody game.
He's okay with it. The manager talked about it extensively, as that they had a plan. They want to be in the postseason, and he's just coming back from injury. Yada, yada, yada. We talked a little bit about the trade deadline there and the American League and the wild card. But, David, the Rays right now have a 4.5 game lead. They've got the Yankees for 4 starting today. I mean, look it. If I'm the Rays, I'm happy with the split at home. I am. But could you imagine they get 3 of 4 here? Then they got the Mariners at home for 3. So they've got 7 games. David, if they go 4-3 this week, particularly if they're just 2-2 against the Yankees, that would be, I don't think they'd lose any ground. I think they'd still be 4 up. They're 4.5. I don't know where I got my 4.5 up, but they're 4 up on the Yanks. If they go 4-3 this week, I don't think they're any worse than still up 4 heading into the break.
I'd agree with you. Yankees have lost 9 of 10. So to expect them to do a lot better this week than a split and win it 2 out of 3 in their next series, yeah. See, I have to admit, one of the few times that Days of Thunder came to my mind as you were talking. And
you want ice cream?
Well, I'm close.
Okay.
Close. All right. There was another scene in that movie a little bit later on in which, Cole's going for the win. Okay. He's he got back in the race. He's near the front of the pack, and now he decides he's going for the win. He's not just happy with the split. Okay. He's going for the win. And what does he say to Harry? Okay. Over the 2-way, what does he say to Harry late in the race? I'm dropping the hammer, Harry. And that's, if I'm the Rays, I'm like, oh, no. We're burying them this week. I want 3 out of 4.
Look it. If they get 3 out of 4, it's monstrous. But I'm just telling you right now, if I'm the Rays and I go 4-3 this week, now you put a 5-2 week before the break, you might have a 5-6 game lead over the Yankees.
Well, we take 3 out of 4 from the Yankees. We're 6 up on Friday morning.
And they go to the Nats. You're hosting the Mariners. Same.
Well, and if you're the Yankees, you're reeling. I mean, you're 2-11 in your last 13 on Friday morning. Also, Rays are 4 up on a mark. What?
Chisholm's out. He got hurt. He got pulled last night. So I don't know. You got to pay attention to that. So, I mean, the injuries keep piling up for the Yankees. They're having a hell of a time scoring runs.
Well, and no sign of Judge. I mean, and without Judge, they can't win squat. They can't. They get Judge back, they can go to the World Series. They don't get Judge back, they can't win squat. I mean, come on, they can't. But, no. No, if I'm the Rays, Mark, we've done this before. I've always agreed with you. Always. And I'm getting greedy if I'm the Rays this morning. They're reeling. We're playing well. We got them at home. We kicked their butt at home. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. No. I'm getting greedy. This may bite me. It's like when I went and gambled in Vegas. Okay. I went out to win money one night, not just to have some fun with a few $100, and I lost $3,000. Okay. And this could come back and bite the Rays, so to speak. But no, I'm not taking the split. I'm going to drop the hammer.
Well, that means tonight's really important in your eyes then, because the Yankees pitching's good. I think Schindler's as good as any of them that they've got, and he's throwing tonight for the Yanks.
Yep.
So
you
get
last start.
I know.
Yes. Right.
But yeah, you got bounced hard last time in Detroit. So
Yep.
I'm with, but if you get tonight, see, to me, that's the one. You beat this guy today, then you can get greedy.
Okay.
And the Rays have lost back-to-back games here. I mean, they're on fire, and they've lost 2 in a row.
To Red Hot Houston. Saturday was back and forth. They lost in extras, and then they got shut out 2-0 yesterday. No doubt. But what have they? 9-2 in their last 11. So, and the Yankees are what, 1-9 in their last 10? Let's go. No. I'm getting greedy. I'm thinking, let's drop the hammer. By the way, let's clinch the 1 seed in the American League by Friday. That's what I'm thinking. This baby's over.
Oh boy, here he is clinching again in July.
Yep.
This bitch in the ass every time you've done it for the last 2 years. Okay, let's slow down on the clinching the division with 70 games left.
If you look very closely in 2025, you can see the Detroit Tigers being penciled in the claret jug for the Cleveland Guardians to be 15 down and overtake them. Okay, yes, this is me. If you look very closely, you can see 1999 Jean Van de Velde. Yes. Mm-hmm. No, I'm dropping the hammer, Harry.
All right. I just hope you're not eating ice cream. That's what I'm worried about. I look at. I get where you're coming from, and you're probably right. I'm just being realistic.
No, I know you're being conservative. Okay, in which you're thinking, listen, we'll be 4 up in the standings, 5 up in the loss column for what it's worth. Also, if both teams have a 4-3 week splitting their 4-game series against each other. So, okay, and I'm like, no. I'm dropping the hammer. Let's go. We're like Norway, Mark. We're Norway. They're Brazil. We got no pressure. Nothing to lose, baby. Let's row the damn boat and let's go.
Now, to your point, the Rays have been unbelievable at home this year.
Right.
I mean, they may miss the Trop one day. Right. No one else will.
I was going to say, they're not going to miss. The Yankees are going to throw a party. In fact, the Yankees, okay, we're breaking news right now. The Yankees are listed as a silent donor to the Rays' new stadium. I just breaking news. The Yankees have struggled so much in the last 20 years in the Trop. They are a silent donor for the Rays' new stadium in Tampa.
You know what I realized I really want to be in 2 years? I want to be the Rays realtor. All these guys are going to be moving there's no way they live in Tampa making that drive. They're all in St. Pete.
Yes.
And they're going to be moving to Tampa. This isn't a $500,000 house here. This is a big deal. That's the job. No. The Rays realtor job. That's what I need. I mean, I'd love any of you to list a house with me. I'd love any of you to buy a house with me right now. I really would. But what I want, I really, really want.
Also, this is 26 people with income.
That's what.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Even the cheap guys. Okay. Even the rookies, if they just say, "Hey, deal with the rookies." Okay. This will be after the new CBA. The minimum salary will probably be $1 million.
Well, not only that, the high end guys. These are cash purchases.
Right.
Okay. There's not a lot. The negotiation's easier when it's a cash offer, David. That's all I'm saying.
We're dropping the hammer, Harry. I'm going for it. Let's win this sucker now.
So 4 games at the Trop, the Rays and Yankees. It is big in the AL East. I really think these 7 games at home for the Rays, look it, I'm not putting the X there yet, but if you want to get the X there quickly, David's right. Take 3 or 4 from the Yanks this weekend, and you're on your way. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Today was a day when what's on tap? Next.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Floor Meisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floor Meisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in. 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floor Meisters, just keeping it real.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
If you're a business who targets men, please know there is no better and more economical way to reach your target audience than us at Miller & Moulton. So let us help you make money. You can reach out to Mark at that Mark Miller or me at the David Moulton on X, or text us at 21,000. We have a proven product, a good reputation, and lots of quality segments that we can attach your company's name to. Miller & Moulton, we're like that old pizza box. You've had the rest. Now try the best. Miller & Moulton, millerandmoulton.com.
This is Miller & Moulton.
My poor wife just cringes when the 3 of us get going because my daughter has learned to talk smack from her father, and obviously so does my son. So we're playing a game last night, and my wife just has this look on her face like, who are these people? Oh, yes, they are a national network's nightmare, Tim. They are. The national network wants the Yankees and the Dodgers. We're well aware. In fact, that's the problem with the American League is that I guess the White Sox will get you a little, but it's still a halfway team in a big city. Cleveland doesn't get you a whole hell of a lot. I mean, I actually think Detroit moves the needle a touch because fans from Detroit are everywhere. Cleveland a little bit the same. But I mean, what, Seattle? That doesn't do anything for anybody.
No, they actually need either Houston to catch Texas, because Houston moves it a little bit because it's the 3rd biggest city now, or they need one of those 3 AL East teams that are all 8 and 9 games below 500. They need one of them to sneak in as a 6 seed because they'll all bring viewers in various degrees.
Which one?
Well, Boston would, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Out Baltimore and Toronto?
Well, but Toronto's postseason numbers last year were surprisingly terrific. So, but I think
I
no, but I agree with both of you. I mean, no. Fox is whoever's got the American League this year. They're going, oh, blank. No, Tim. No, Milwaukee's been in the playoffs, 7 out of 8 years? They have not drawn in any of those years. The only time they've gotten a good rating is based on their opponent, Cubs, Dodgers, Mets. But think about the difference between the two leagues. Meanwhile, in the National League,
Phillies.
Braves, Phillies.
And the Braves get the whole South. I mean, they do.
Brewers, Cubs, and, a tie between the Cardinals and Marlins and the Dodgers. So they're getting Braves, Cubs, Dodgers right now in the National League. Oh, yeah, and the Phillies
Phillies
are a nice draw, too.
Yeah, I mean, the four of the teams are monsters.
Probably four of their 5 biggest draws.
Yeah, I mean, the Mets are the only one that's the bigger draw that's not there. That is a television nightmare, Sonny. A Milwaukee-Tampa World Series is a ratings nightmare. And Tampa's a big market now, but it doesn't. No one else watches. I mean, the top 10 market. So, but Milwaukee, oh goodness.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
22 minutes till top of the hour. See ya. Bye-bye. So long. Farewell. We'll be back tomorrow. Miller and Moulton. MillerandMoulton.com. Miller_Moulton on X. You ready?
Absolutely. Let's get after it.
It's that time again, nearing the end, but not quite there yet. Here's Mark Miller with Today Was the Day When.
1776, we were national champs. And today, the Declaration of Independence was announced on the front page of the PA Evening Gazette. I never really realized this. And I know that there's a little bit of kinkiness in Germany if you really dig deep. But I wouldn't have thought that this would have opened here. Today in 1919, the Institute for Sexual Science opened in Berlin by physician Magnus Hirschfeld.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone there.
No, you would not have thought one of the 5 most uptight societies would.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right, 1923. The Russian Empire became the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic.
Gotcha.
33. Nursery Rhymes, a short film starring the Three Stooges, first appeared. I like the Stooges. Also today in 33 at Comiskey Park in Chicago, Major League Baseball's first All-Star game took place. A sports editor, it was his brainchild, designed to bolster the sport and improve its reputation during the darkest years of the Great Depression, billed as a one-time game of the century. Obviously, it's become a fixture, the Midsummer Classic. Althea Gibson won Wimbledon today in 1957 to become the first African-American to win a championship at the All England Lawn and Tennis Club. Also today in 57, a couple of teenagers got together for the first time. You may have heard of them. John Lennon, Paul McCartney. Lennon's group, the Quarrymen, performed. Mutual friend Ivan Vaughn introduced the two. Forrest Gump premiered today in 94. Serena wins her first Wimbledon singles title, beating her older sister in straight sets in 2002. A year later, Federer would win his first Grand Slam title, winning Wimbledon. And Rafi in 08 would end Federer's 5-year reign at Wimbledon in a classic 5-setter, winning 9-7 in the 5th. P.T. Barnum, Coach John McKay, and Robbie Robinson from the band would have all celebrated birthdays today. Brad Park, he's 78. Huey Lewis, 76. Not sure on the news. Goose Gossage, 75. Willie Randolph, 72. James Lofton. Is he still with us? No, right?
Yeah, James Lofton, yes.
James Lofton, I think it's someone. James Lofton, 70. Ronnie Duguay, who I don't know how much longer he'll be with us, but he's 69. Eddie Falco, Carmela, she's 63. John LeClaire, first American to score 50 in a season. He's 57. Former Tampa Bay Lightning centerman Chris Groton is 51. Javi Lopez, 49. Paul Gasol, 46. Richie Incognito, 43. Megan Raponi is 41. Shohei, 32. So's Brendan Lau. And Zion Williamson's 26. What did I miss, David?
Otani's 32, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's pretty good.
You forget also, he played over there a few years and he's been here a while. I mean, had to serve out his, 6-7 years till he could leave the Angels. So,
Right.
So that's all.
Time to see life a little bit differently. Here's Mark Miller with the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got, Mark?
Had to get a few bites of eggs in there. Daughter's on point now. I'm going to homeschool her. Good for breakfast. We go to Citrus County in Florida for the good, where apparently reports came about an overheated dog in the forest. So Citrus County animal control officers, along with some sheriff's deputies and a bystander on an e-bike, came out and carried the dog out on a stretcher so the owner could pursue emergency treatment. Tough to take dogs on long walks this time of year. For the bad, we go to Maryland, where, karma is what they say it is. Because, a man was burglarizing a business. When he went to make his getaway, it turned out that someone stole his car. Jalen Goodard was charged with burglary, theft, and destruction of property. We don't know where his car is, however. Finally, the ugly, we go to Fort Myers, where Willie Fuse is in a bit of trouble. He violated his probation, and he's a jerk. He apparently went nuts over someone owing him $10. That person was a senior citizen, and he shoved him to the ground and punched him a few times when he couldn't collect his debt. Police are still on the lookout for Willie. He's 32, 5'10", and 195. So be careful. And that, David, is the good, the bad, and the ugly. On today, July the 6th, brought to you by the Cape Coral Police Department, hiring new officers, offering great pay, overtime opportunities, and other jobs available. For all information, capecops.com, capecops.com.
8 Major League Baseball games today and tonight. Couple of interesting series. We obviously talked about one earlier. Rays begin a 4-gamer at the Trop with the Yankees. Rays 4 up in the standings, 5 up in the loss column. They've won 9 of 11. Yankees have lost 9 of 10. If not now, when for the Rays to put the hammer down on the Yankees in the AL East? Milwaukee and St. Louis.
That's a good series.
Cardinals. Brewers in first, second best record in the National League and in all of baseball. Cardinals tied with the Marlins for the final playoff spot in the National League. Interesting series out west. Arizona at the Padres. They're both tied for second, but they're both below 500. So one of them's got to get going here to, get back in the wild card race. And,
just on a hunch with the Mets beating the Braves yesterday, they finished their series today. The Braves are only minus 130. Don't you have to take the Braves today?
Well, yeah, also because they've won 2 of 3 in the series, and this is to win the series. And the Mets are really bad. Really bad.
So that would be my bet today. If I were to make it, it's not big odds, only minus 130 on the Braves against the Mets.
Wimbledon, Madison Keys in action, Taylor Fritz in action. A couple of Americans highly seeded and doing pretty well so far. I just want to make one comment about Wimbledon. And I know you don't watch anymore, but Andy Roddick is really good. Wow.
He's still
really
playing.
Good. To the point where I'm wondering how much more, if he wants to do this, whether or not we start finally sealing the curtailment of the McEnroes on television. I mean, good. And knows all the current players.
Yeah. I do think John still knows all the players. But obviously, the game he played is very different from the game they play now.
So just throwing that out there. Obviously, we got the 2 World Cup matches. Portugal and Spain facing each other. If Portugal loses, Ronaldo has said, I'm 41. This is it. And coming back for more. 3:00 on Fox, Portugal and Spain. And then 8:00 tonight, you're going to hear advertisements for 6:00. That's just when their coverage starts. It's a 2-hour pregame. 8:00 in Seattle, United States and Belgium. Winner faces the winner of Portugal, Spain over the weekend in the quarters.
Look it. I won't bet the U.S. and I won't bet against them. I mean, you can't, can you? I mean, you can, but it just seems very
un-American.
Right. I mean, you seem like a double agent. You seem like a spy if you were to bet Belgium.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, no offense. I mean, well, come on. Somebody's got to win here, so pick a side.
Right. But I mean, these odds that you're getting on Belgium, that's pretty good. Before the tournament, if you were to say the U.S. and Belgium in the round of 32, Team USA is going to be favored. I don't think you wouldn't have gotten that before the tournament. There's no way that would have been the odds pre-tournament.
So apparently by 8 o'clock this morning, according to The Athletic, both the U.S. and Belgium had to submit written paper to FIFA. But supposedly, either late this morning or early this afternoon, there is going to be some appeal before someone from FIFA who is not part of CONCACAF or not part of UEFA. And so Belgium is still holding out hope that Balogun will not be able to play tonight. Apparently they got an emergency, whatever, and they're going to get a face-to-face with somebody to try to overturn this.
If this gets overturned, no one will eat a waffle in this country for another 50 years. That's all I'm saying.
So now, listen, I thought it was crazy that Balogun got reinstated yesterday. I think it would be a lot crazier if he all of a sudden gets, suspended for the match again. But hey, this is FIFA. Anything's possible.
By the way, fun Belgium fact for you. While it's called a French fry, Belgium claims they invented the French fry. As early as the late 1600s, when the rivers froze and fish were unavailable.
Remember, the U.S. has never won a World Cup match unless they scored first.
I understand, but I mean, we might even have the French on our side tonight, because if Belgium's claiming the French fry, that could get another nation behind us. I'm just saying.
I agree.
I doubt either country even puts ketchup on them, though.
Question: was ketchup available to the guests at your place for any of the 42 hot dogs that were available on the 4th?
So I put the first tray of hot dogs out. I had pickles sliced. I had onions diced. And I had a bottle of mustard out. And the person who bought me a really expensive bottle of bourbon says, is ketchup not out on purpose? And I just looked at him. I said, are you 12? Because there were so many kids, I did pull the ketchup out. And a few adults did it, and I verbally chastised them in front of everybody. But yes, I did put ketchup out because, damn it, I'm an American. It was $2.50, and you want to put ketchup on your hot dog in this country, you should be shamed, but you should not be denied. Freedom means being able to put ketchup on a hot dog. It's wrong.
Right. Belgium and penalty kicks.
Oh, come on.
Just saying.
Come on.
2-2 when we go to penalties also.
2-1 USA. Miller and Moulton. I can't believe who I work with. Oh, my goodness.
The Cape Coral Police Department is growing, and they want you to be a part of it. They're hiring new officers. Starting pay is between $74,000 and $90,000, depending on your experience. And with a $10,000 hiring bonus, you could be making $100,000. Enjoy paid holidays, off-duty details, plenty of OT opportunities. They're also hiring dispatchers and professional staff. So go to capecops.com. Capecops.com. Be brave, be best, be Cape.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
No!
This summer, there's only one place to experience the roar of the World Cup at the British Open Pub in Bonita Springs, your World Cup headquarters, where the team is bringing every match live, full sound on every TV across the patio, with daily food and drink specials from the opening match on June 11th through the final on July 19th. Catch the electric atmosphere for every England and USA match and all the matches in between at the British Open Pub, Bonita Springs, at the shops of Pelican Landing, where the World Cup comes
Mark
alive.
Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine, no more snoring, no more tossing, no more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and
The
sound.
Floormeisters just doesn't sell Cortec and carpet. They also sell a lot of wood. And what better time than now to stop in and see the nice folks at Floormeisters for some new hardwood for your home. With white oak wood starting at $4.99 a square foot, that makes it affordable for everyone. With 10 colors to choose from, they have a color for everyone. So stop in, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco, or go to the web. It's floormeisters.com. Floormeisters.com. Floormeisters, just keeping it real. If you're a business who targets men, please know there is no better and more economical way to reach your target audience than us at Miller & Moulton. So let us help you make money. You can reach out to Mark at that Mark Miller or me at the David Moulton on X, or text us at 21,000. We have a proven product, a good reputation, and lots of quality segments that we can attach your company's name to. Miller & Moulton, we're like that old pizza box. You've had the rest. Now try the best. Miller & Moulton, millerandmoulton.com.
This is Miller and Moulton